But the Colorado Rockies have had their way with the Friars in 2010, sweeping the Padres in a 3-game series just 8 days ago in San Diego. Now, with momentum on their side, the Rockies look to move ahead of San Diego in the Wild West. Rockies, Padres, next. Need not tell you, the place to be is lower downtown Denver, and more specifically inside Coors Field. The Rockies looking to keep on rolling. Tonight they open up a most important 3-game set against the San Diego Padres. And here are the standings after the Rockies' victory yesterday in dramatic fashion. They're now just a game and a half behind the Padres and Giants, who are in a virtual tie atop the NL West. In the wild card, the Rockies 2.5 behind Atlanta. San Francisco is idle tonight. They're a game behind Atlanta in the wild card chase. How much fun has this been? With George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. The Rockies have won 10 consecutive games. It's their 3rd longest in franchise history. If it's September, you know this team's cooking. And now the Padres come to town, and the Rockies have owned the Padres this year.
They have owned the Padres this year, and it's a funny thing because you would think their earned run average, they've lived off of their pitching staff this entire year. Colorado at 388. San Diego 512. The Rockies with 21 home runs. You expect that because of what they've done in this park. But the Rockies have gone deep in their ballpark. Giambi's gone deep. And Cargo's gone deep. Tulowitzki's gone deep. They have gone out and just mastered this ball club 11-4. And let me tell you what, this is the time you want to have them in your ballpark right now because you are in such a hot streak, and Lodo is alive with a lot of magic.
And the Padres are reeling. They had lost 10 in a row. They righted the ship a little bit against the Dodgers, but they lost 3 of 4 over the weekend against San Francisco. When we come back, we'll talk about Jeff Francis, who'll return to the mound tonight after missing the last month. Young going back, looking up. Giambi has done it. A two-run walk-off. Nothing better than a September walk-off when you're in a pennant race. Jason Giambi taking care of some young folks as the Rockies prepare to take on the San Diego Padres. This 10-game homestand continues. The Rockies a perfect 7-0 so far. Back upstairs with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. Yesterday, the Rockies only got 4 innings out of Yoli Chacin. The bullpen did another masterful job. It was the bench contributing all the offense, really.
Well, you look at everything that went on yesterday. These are the two things that you have to have if you're going to win a pennant. You got to have a strong bullpen. Yesterday, 5 innings, no runs out of that bullpen. It was Ismael. Beimel was Mendez mixed. Betancourt cleaned it up in the 8th. And then Houston Street came on in the 9th inning in his usual fashion. 3 hits, 8 strikeouts over those 5 innings. And then the bench, they pinch hit Spilborn. Yeah, it's a blue pit, but folks, you take them any way you can. You get 2 RBIs out of it, and you tie the ball game late in the game. All of a sudden, it's time for Giambi. A nasty changeup down and away. It looked like it was going to hit on the ground. Instead, it hit the seats and gave the Rockies a 4-2 win yesterday. And the mosh pit was going wild.
That's right, all 4 RBIs from guys who pinch hit. I still can't believe he hit that ball out. That just shows you how strong he is.
Well,
ball's ankle high.
Well, and not only that, it's a changeup, so he had to supply all the power. Well, he's a strong man. That was obvious yesterday.
Yep, that was fun to watch. Well, Jeff Francis has had some shoulder issues. He had shoulder surgery, obviously, last year. Been on the disabled list the last 3.5 weeks. He will take on the Padres tonight. Probably, George, even if it goes well, can't go real deep.
60 pitches max. I think that's probably what you're looking at. Maybe 70 if you get lucky and get some smooth innings. It's funny, after this start in New York where he gave up 2 runs very quickly in the game in the first inning, then he threw 5 shutout innings. He got on the bus. I said, man, you threw the ball well today. He said, my shoulder's killing me. I said, well, if it's killing you, I hope I get at him yesterday. I hope your shoulder feels like it did in New York because you threw lights out that ball game against the Mets.
Well, he has been in this situation before, so you know he can handle it. The Rockies and Padres, we need not say more. Come on back to 20th and Blake with us. SDN is brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet. Get blazing fast speeds that won't burn up your wallet. Buy E470, use E470, and you'll get to the airport with time to spare. By Ford F-150, it's not just a pickup truck, it's a Ford F-150. Drive one. And by Brakes Plus, a whole lot more. Final 3 ball games this year between the Rockies and the San Diego Padres. The Rockies had a great weekend well-attended weekend series as they won 3 games against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Jerry Hairston is back healthy. He's been on the disabled list for a while. He did pinch hit yesterday. That was his first at bat in quite some time, but he'll be at the top of Bud Black's order this evening. Aaron Cunningham will be in left field. He'll bat second. Then Miguel Tejada, the toughest out, not only in their lineup, but one of the toughest outs in baseball, Adrian Gonzalez. Then Ryan Ludwig, Chase Headley, Chris Denorfia, not originally in the starting lineup. It was Scott Hairston, but he re-aggravated a shoulder injury during batting practice. He was a late scratch. Our old friend Yorfi Torrealba behind the plate. And Corey Lubke making his 3rd career start. The Rockies faced him a week and a half ago. First pitch brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Text keyword pizza followed by a space and your name to 95323 to receive your Domino's special offer and to be entered to win a pizza party for 12. One weekly winner will be chosen. Fastball just a little bit south of the knees to Jerry Hairston. And that's down also.
Yeah, what you're looking for is minimal pitches per innings for Jeff Francis. You'd love to see him give you 4 innings. The numbers on the season: 4-4, 456 earned run average, over 92 2/3 innings.
And that just at the knees. And that's where Jeff needs to work naturally.
I like the velocity set at 88 on those first 3 pitches, and I think that's good in Francis to show me his shoulder is strong and healthy.
And that's low. 3-1 on Jerry Hairston. Hairston's a catalyst type. He's not only a high energy guy on the field, he's a vocal guy in the clubhouse. I'm sure Bud Black hopes he can get some of that from him over the next few weeks. That's in there 3-2. Francis has faced the Padres twice already this year, and to be honest, the outcome, especially in the ball game in San Diego, not what he's looking for. He gave up 8 runs at a ball game in San Diego. He's allowed 15 hits against the Padres and 8 at work.
Well, to continue a little bit of the theory what Drew's talking about, here's a ground ball over to Tulowitzki. And 20 career starts against San Diego, and he started out there, and they remember they put that bush actually at Petco because of Jeff Francis on the left side of their scoreboard, because they said he couldn't pick the pitches up from him. But over those 20 starts, 5-11 in his career, 565 earned run average, but it was awfully good those first 2 starts, 2-0, 174 way back when, and a while back when Jeff came to the big leagues. But the last 18 have been a struggle. 3-11 record and a 604 earned run average.
Well, basically what you're telling me tonight would be a good night to get it started in the other direction. That's going to be an infield hit for Aaron Cunningham. Good play by Tulowitzki. Let's take a look at the Rockies defensively. In the outfield, they'll have Carlos Gonzalez in left, Dexter Fowler in center, Ryan Spilborghs against the lefty in right field, Miguel Moore, Troy Tulowitzki, EY, Todd Helton, Miguel Olivo in the infield. Chris Iannetta hurt that calf muscle yesterday. Olivo was supposed to have Sunday off, and Miguel ended up catching 8 innings.
Miguel's just going to have to get a lot of good sleep because Olivo's going to be catching quite a bit. You have a veteran guy in Phillips, but he's also a journeyman minor league guy that's gotten some big league at bats that can fill in 1 time a week. Jim Tracy said prior to the game today that it's going to be at least 2 days before Chris Iannetta does anything baseball activity wise, and it could be stretched longer, but as of this afternoon, after test with the medical department, it was going to be at least 2 days.
That's a tough injury, that calf muscle. Well, depending where you did it, you kind of did it in the meaty part of the calf. It takes a while.
Well, the worst part's the position he plays as a catcher.
Yeah, it's not like that's getting any break, huh? Sitting in a squat all night. 1-1 on Miguel Tejada. Runner at first is Cunningham. The Padres like to run. Good off-speed pitch. 1-2.
Tejada with the Padres has hit .248, 5 home runs and 18 RBIs. His success has been a lot more than what they've gotten out of Ryan Ludwig, who they got from the Cardinals. He's also in the lineup today in right field. In the American League, he had .269 with 7 home runs and 39 RBIs prior to the trade.
That is fouled off. Padres lost 3 of 4 to San Francisco. Obviously, that was a big series because San Francisco, even closer than the Rockies were to Bud Black's team. It was at Petco, and Bud's team scored 5 runs, George, in 4 games.
Yeah, tough time there. They just have not been able to get the bats going at all. And you mentioned earlier, I mean, Jerry and Scott Harrison have been a couple of guys that have been tremendous catalysts for this ball club, and they've been out for a while.
And Tejada was 0 for 11 in that series. He wasn't alone. I mean, when you score 5 runs, a lot of guys struggled offensively. He was just 5 for 31 on that long homestand for the Padres. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Tejada. And this is lifted foul and out of play down the third base line. Let's take a look at our Excel Energy fun fact. 2 teams in big league history have reached the postseason while having a losing streak of 10 or more games. The Padres last week finally ended a 10-game losing streak. The 51 New York Giants, one of the most famous teams ever. Bobby Thompson, New York Giants, and then the 82 Atlanta Braves, managed by Joe Torre. Only been one other team to lose 10 straight while leading their division or their league, the 1932 Pirates. That just missed 3-2.
Well, Jeff's got the right approach right now. You've got a very good fastball hitter at the plate. Guy's trying to drive the ball, and you can see trying to work everything down around that outside corner and away from him to kind of try to minimize his power.
Runner's not going, and this pitch is fouled off. You know, I think when you're in a situation like the Padres, you could say all the right things. It's one game. We just needed a good performance. And I'm sure they believe that. But if the true emotions were to come out, there's great concern. On the ground, foul.
Well, I would think so, because a lot of the guys on this ball club have never been in this position. And to lead the way they did, they were the Cinderella story of baseball for 5.5 months. Bud Black's ball club, there's a lot of young players that were excelling, and the veteran guys were having the best years they'd had in their careers. Pitching staff was off the charts.
Yeah, that's the thing. The pitching staff is young. I mean, there's some guys who've seen the postseason. I mean, you just look around. Torrey Alba, you know, Adrian Gonzalez, Ryan Ludwig with St. Louis. Jerry Hairston was with the Yankees last year. Another 3-2. And this ball's crushed. Tejada hits one up on the concourse, and it's 2-0 San Diego. Well, that's already 40% of what they did over the 4 games against the Giants at Petco. Home run number 298 in the career of Miguel Tejada.
First one against Jeff Francis, his 3rd hit, 9 at-bats against Jeff Francis. Fastball. It continued to come inside. Just think how quick his bat was. I mean, he kicked everything to the left side here up into the seats, and finally got to this one. A little bit too much center cut for him, and he was able to pull it out of the ballpark. San Diego this year is 61-23 when they score first.
Well, the Rockies have won the last 2 ball games coming from behind. They'll have to do it again tonight. Adrian Gonzalez takes a strike on the outside corner. It was a curveball. Adrian naturally has seen Jeff Francis more than any of his teammates, and in his career he's 5 for 29, 1-2 now. He does own a home run against Francis.
Struck out 11 times over those at bats.
Here's the other thing, George, and we talked about it in the open. You want Jeff to be effective naturally, but he's already thrown 21 pitches here. He's got 1 out in the 1st inning.
Basically a third of the way to what you thought he was going to go.
And it's going to be a continuing theme throughout the night. The fact that the bullpen ate up 5 innings yesterday, this is in the air to Gonzalez. And if things go beautifully, you figured they had to eat up 4 innings tonight. I mean, you can't expect Francis to go beyond the 5th inning. He's not stretched out enough.
Well, but just think about it. To go 60 pitches, that means he's going to have to average 12 per inning to get 5 innings in. And he's sitting already at 22. So that's been eliminated unless he has some very quick innings coming up.
And your number 1 long haul guy, George, is Esmil Rogers. He went 2 innings yesterday. Alarm bells don't go off, but it's not like he can go out and give you probably 3 today. That's a little much.
Well, I think what you do then, depending on the score of the game, because you have your upside, tied, and down guys that you use in a bullpen. So now you go to Morales, now you go to Dedono, you go to Escalano, those guys to get you and keep and maintain things until you get deep into the game. And if you happen to get it tied or ahead, then you revert back over and get Belisle and Betancourt and Street.
0-2 on Ludwig, 1-2 on Ludwig. He had a rough homestand also, just 4 for 29. No swing. Check it out with Jeff Nelson. Larry Vanover's behind home plate. This is Larry's 18th year of big league service. And a base hit to left. 3rd hit of the inning. 1 an infield hit, and 1 went up on the concourse. If the Rockies score 7 runs in a game, you know the drill. Go to Taco Bell the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies Tacos special. And already the pitch count, again, not to be a broken record, but it's nearing 30 with Chase Headley at the plate.
Another guy that has struggled against Jeff, 1 for 7. A couple of strikeouts. He has walked against him.
Headley hitting the low 200s this year from the right side. He's a switch hitter. Started switch hitting as a kid. Some guys don't come to it till later on in life, like Dexter Fowler.
If guys start this late, whatever their weaker side is, you can really utilize the breaking ball against them. They can adjust to the fastball, keep their swing about the same, but when it's a wrinkle in it, it's hard to hit.
Good changeup, 1-2.
2 off-speed pitches to get ahead, 1-2. Right out of the hand of Jeff Francis on the Hyundai cam. The circle change. Really rotated and pronated to the inside. So when you do that, you get that ball to sink and drop away from the hitter.
That was a fastball up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Miguel Tejada, 2-run home run in this inning. They give the Padres an early 2-0 lead. See Headley's low average against lefties, 206, keeps the at bat alive.
Think of all the extra pitches that have been thrown by Jeff. When Tejada fouled off 5 pitches, this guy's fouled off 2 or 3. You've had to check swings. Tejada's at bat really what hurt this pitch count, made it jump very high. Kind of hurt some feelings too, that long shot.
As savvy as Jeff is, and that's the type of pitcher he is, very clever, and we all know about his background and how bright he is, but it's hard to be sharp, George, when you haven't pitched in a month.
It's very hard.
3rd, good pick up by Mora. He'll go the long way.
Very good positioning by Mora on an off-speed pitch. A changeup hugged the line versus being off the line. A good read.
34 pitch first inning, 2-0 San Diego. over the last 10 ball games, and they'll need to be tonight. They're down 2-0 early. That's Eric Young. He's got a 7-game hitting streak coming into this affair. He'll be followed by Dexter Fowler, then Carlos Gonzalez, Troy Tulowitzki. You kind of stamp those four in your lineup every night. Melvin Moore will bat 5th, Todd Helton 6th, then Ryan Spilborghs, Miguel Olivo, and Jeff Francis. And they'll face Corey Luebke, who made his major league debut against the Rockies. He gave up a 2-run home run to Giambi, a 2-run home run to Tulowitzki, and then he retired the next 9 hitters before his departure after 5. Well, he went out in his next start, George, against the Dodgers, and he was dominant. He got his first big league win, 6 innings of shutout baseball.
And it's the first time he's been out on the road, though, to make a start in his young major league career. So we're going to see how that all works out. His minor league numbers earned a promotion to the big leagues. 32 and 17 in that minor league span. You look at the numbers against the Dodgers in that last start, just 2 hits, 7 punch outs, and a walk.
So here's the deal with him, is that's called a strike, and if he gets that pitch all night, it's going to be very difficult to hit.
Well, why was it any different than pitches Francis threw early in the game? Well, Larry sees it a different way, maybe, but yeah, he's 88-92 with his fastball. He's got a slider that he'll work. That is his primary strikeout pitch, and a very good changeup.
So you go back to the home run hit by Tulowitzki. Since that time, this is lined to right, and it's played out there by Ludwig. He has retired 28 of his next 31 hitters, including getting Eric Young right there. 28 of 31.
That's pretty good.
It is. Aaron Cunningham in left field. He has good speed. Chris Denorfia is in center. Ryan Ludwig is in right. Headley, Tejada, Jerry Hairston, and Adrian Gonzalez left to right in the infield, with Torrealba behind home plate at Coors Field. Not exactly unfamiliar territory.
What Torrealba will do behind the plate with nobody on, you'll see him rotate and a lot of times drop one knee to give a lower target, or really set back on the haunches to make sure this young pitcher stays down in the strike zone. Constant reminder, everything down.
I was talking to Ryan Spilborghs about him, as that misses 3-0, George, and it's still unclear as to how you game plan Luebke completely, because his first start he's nervous. He did walk a couple. His next start he had very good command, so you don't know how are you patient with him, or is he a guy that as he develops is typically going to be right around the strike zone?
Well, he only walked 29 guys in 114 innings in the minor leagues this year, so he's typically around the strike zone. He struck out 88. So the start against the Rockies, he ran into trouble. And the young man was throwing the ball very well, but Giambi takes him dead center field, then left the yard in the sand pits, and then another base hit. And then it was kind of off to the races a little bit. This triple by Melvin Moore, and then the long bomb by Tulowitzki, dead center field out over the head of Venable.
Carlos Gonzalez did not have an at-bat on Saturday. He played defense in the 9th inning, and that day off helped him yesterday. A double and a single and 3 trips, leading the league at .337. And he takes that fastball down, ball 1.
And Luebke was a sandwich pick. He went to college at Ohio State. So, I mean, he's an older, mature guy. And I really think Bud Black felt like that if you could get a fresh arm up, I can take LeBlanc out, Correa out, put them into the bullpen, give them a little bit of a break. And I'm bringing up a pretty good arm to come up here and pitch that's fairly fresh, because they monitored his innings. 113 innings for the season. Bud Black saying, all right, he's not very familiar to the Rockies and the Dodgers. Hope we'll catch a little fire here. They did one ball game, another they didn't.
He went to a breaking ball and missed 2-0, and now Torrealba will come out and visit. He's missed on 6 of his last 7 after Eric Young lined out. And for Luebke, George, you make a very interesting observation. First 2 ball games at Petco Park, which he knows is a great pitcher's park. Now he goes to Coors Field, and all he knows about Coors Field is what he's read.
Which isn't good. If
not good for pitchers.
If you're a visiting pitcher coming in here, it's not a great place to come in and play baseball and pitch in it. So I think maybe that's what you start to overthrow or think about pinpoint control. 10 pitches, 7 of them haven't found a strike zone.
Boy, he got away with one right there. That was in the happy zone.
Sometimes with the long swing, if you run a fastball in, you really got to get your hands close to the body and apply the power. Gonzalez just missed that.
He's lucky that wasn't a souvenir. 2-1. Well, how about this? Shows you two things: how productive Carlos Gonzalez and Troy Tulowitzki have been in the month of September, and maybe how bad San Diego's offense has been. Tulowitzki and Gonzalez by themselves have driven in more runs than the Padres, 26-24, and they have scored the same amount of runs. Just those two.
Yeah, that's not a group effort, folks. That's just those two guys against their entire ball club.
They've out-homered them 11-7.
Well, here's something else for you. Tulowitzki's 8 home runs in September. That's more than 13 other major league teams combined in September.
The dynamic duo, 3-1 with Fowler at first and 1 out. Rockies trailing 2-0. And another quality swing on a fastball right there. Let's see if Lukey, now that he's gotten it to 3-2, goes to his breaking ball or a changeup.
Haven't been able to throw the breaking ball for a strike yet. He tried to overthrow it, and a lot of times young kids will do that. You see the thumb over. That's just a throw over on Dexter Fowler, hoping to shorten the inning up, catch him running a little bit on a 3-2 count, get a little jumpy, get off the bag.
So I think he may go breaking ball again, George.
Well, you know, the thing about it, it's got to be confident behind it. That's what Torrealba wants him to throw. See if he does it. He went back to the fastball and he went inside. See, I've seen him throw 3 breaking balls. All 3 have been up. There hasn't been any slide to him at all. And a lot of young kids complain coming in here because of altitude. Your fingers get dry. I can't grip the baseball. So a lot of times you'll see him lick it. You'll see him get the rosin, trying to do something to get a grip on the ball. Yeah, pretty obvious right now that with the breaking balls I've seen from him, they haven't been very good. See if Torrealba can convince him to throw it. Fastball away again.
And a base hit to right. Dexter Fowler is going to head to third. And now Cargo's going to try to move up, and he's hung up. Now Dexter is off the third, and they got the out there. Tough play. Once the ball sailed off over the cutoff man, the shortstop, Cargo looked to move up, but Chase Headley went and got the baseball.
It was a very strong throw from right field with Ludwig, and it was right on line. So that fastball away allowed that long swing to hook this ball in between first and second base. With the top spin, the ball picked up velocity. So now when he makes this throw, you're going to see Gonzalez, okay, I'm good enough here at first. Now all of a sudden you're going to see him take off for second base. Well, when they received the baseball, everything was right out in front of Headley. So it made it easy for him to catch the ball, get to second base with the throw, and then a tag applied.
That's low on Tulowitzki. So the Rockies run into an out on the base paths. Troy, a 2-run home run against Lupke to dead center field at Petco. On the corner, 1-1.
Most young kids that come to the big leagues, unless they're really polished, you don't see a lot of changeups from them. They got a 2-pitch mix. Lupke's got a very good changeup.
Just announced today, the player of the week, Troy Tulowitzki. And he jumps out of the way, but it's a strike. He won the honor because the Rockies had a dominant week, and he was the dominant player. 370 average, 6 home runs, 11 driven in, an out-of-sight slugging percentage. He's behind 1-2 right now. Dexter at third with 2 outs.
First good slider, and it was a ball, but a good slider that he really reminded himself to get on top and drive to that back foot. Watch how he gets way up on top of this slider and stayed with it through the zone. Couldn't induce Tulowitzki, but it's one of the better ones he's thrown in this game.
play by Chase Headley. That's from playing baseball in the backyard. You know, the ball ricochets off the fence or off a house, comes back, and you got to make a play on it.
If it comes back into fair territory, it's in play.
Absolutely. Play's not over because he hooked it foul, right?
That's right. Caught it in the air, too.
Some yards that counts as 2 outs. This ball pulled down the line, and it's foul.
Look for the changeup away here. He's come inside every time with the fastball, and he's come in hard with it. One was called a strike. The other, he just hooked foul by about 2 inches. The home run out in San Diego, fastball away from him, got it, and drove it to dead center field out over Venable's head, 400 feet from home plate. Probably not the beginning Lutke had hoped for, but it was a day that Tulowitzki liked to remember.
Fowler walked, moved to third on the Gonzalez single.
Change up away. Kind of thought he'd do that after coming in hard with 3 straight pitches and goes change up away.
Rockies do not score. 2-0 San Diego. Home run. Let's check in with Alana Rizzo for tonight's Great Colorado Payback Sideline Report.
Guys, you had mentioned how remarkable the Rockies bullpen was last night in getting that win over the Arizona Diamondbacks, and it's certainly pretty certain here that they're going to have to be called upon today because Jim Tracy will not let Jeff Francis get that stretched out. I asked Jim Tracy earlier before the game just how key this bullpen has been in the last 10 games.
Our bullpen is a major reason, Alana, as to why we've won the last 10 games in a row that we've played. You look at their numbers, you look at what they've done over the last 10 days. They have taken very adequate starts from our starting rotation and done what they had to do with that. They've taken short starts where we didn't let the game get out of hand and settled the waters, if you will, and gave us a chance offensively to jump back in and do something. They've been absolutely phenomenal.
And when I asked Jim Tracy who might be available or who's not available today, he said, I'll know more as soon as I find out how long Jeff Francis can go into the game. But Jeff Houston made a great point on the pregame show, guys. He said there's 19 games left. Pretty much everybody is available at this point.
All right, Alana, absolutely. And the bullpen has been really very, very good all year long. And you have more options down there. There's Matt Daly on the left. Saw him in a ball game for the first time in a long time the other day. Matt Reynolds done a great job. Matt Belial's had a sensational year. Torrealba with one out. get on top of that curveball. 1-0. I think Bud Black, George, got to be thrilled. He's got a guy like Torrealba. But not only has Yorvi been really good this year for the Padres, working for about half the time with Nick Hundley, but here's a veteran guy who, as you know, is always loose. He's always upbeat, and for a team that's really had a miserable 17 days, winning only 4 times in 17 days, he's a guy that can keep a clubhouse up.
Well, you hope so. And I think the other thing, too, you know, I haven't figured this out. Every time you're looking for that, and they were, a backup at the time over the winter, and you sit there and you say to yourself, who's available? Well, if you're in the National League West and you've got to play the Rockies 19 times, the Dodgers 19 times, the Giants 19 times, and Arizona 19 times, wouldn't you want to go get a guy that's out there that's a free agent that knows the division? And that's what Torrealba does. He knows the division. And if you look at his earned run average over time and you look at what he's done in the West, his ERA as a catcher, I know it sounds funny, but a lot of scouts and front office people evaluate a catcher's ability to call games by their earned run average and win-loss records. And when he's caught, their earned run average is right around 3 or a little above. That's impressive.
3-2 on Torrealba. And he fouls it off. Plus, he's had a penchant, George, for getting hot and playing his best baseball when it matters most.
Yeah, for whatever reason. I mean, he doesn't hit well in April, May, June, and July, and August, but he sure does a great job in September. His lifetime average in September is probably about 600.
That's what he did on his last homestand, which by the Padres standards is outstanding, because they had a bunch of guys hitting below the Mendoza line, so his 263 looks pretty good.
And where he hits in the lineup, he's not going to get a lot of RBIs. I mean, everybody above him's the guys knocking in the RBIs. The thing you can't do as the opposition is go to sleep and think you can throw him this cookie fastball down the middle, because he does have the power to hit it out of the ballpark.
Jeff's gotten 2 outs, and now Corey Lupke up there without a big lead hit so far, and hopefully that continues this evening. He can pick that up somewhere down the road. Good changeup. It's 0-2. Lately, it's been hard for the Rockies to get the opposition pitcher out. They get a lot of other guys out.
Yeah. Kennedy 3 for 3 yesterday with the Diamondbacks.
And Rodrigo Lopez threw out a base hit also. One and 2. And Francis strikes out Lupke. Good inning for Jeff. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Padres up 2-0. Melvin Mora will begin things. take a look at our Breaks Plus Take a Break poll of the game. Text your answers to 95323. Is a veteran player more valuable in the clubhouse or in the clutch? Text rocks 1 for clubhouse, rocks 2 for clutch. It's Shocktober. Buy 2, get 2. Monroe Shocks and Struts, and it's valid through the 31st of October. Melvin Mora batting .274 with 4 home runs and 30 driven in. Will face Corey Lupke.
Hey, you know, speaking of third baseman, because Mora's up, I've got to drop this right now. Big day in history for Vinny Castilla. Today's the day he hit his 30th home run, or 300th home run, which also drove in his 1,000th RBI, and it came against Scott Service, the Arizona Diamondbacks, in the 7th inning of a 9-2 win. The last guy to do that prior to that, Billy Williams, 1971 for the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, you may not be a Hall of Famer if you hit 300 homers and driving 1,000, but you're an outstanding player in your era.
Oh, absolutely you are. Vinny was just phenomenal for long ball. I was kidding him today. I said, you know, it's a big day today, don't you? I said, what do you mean it's a big day? It's a big day in the history of baseball today. What do you mean? You hit your 300th home run. Scott Service, changeup, Arizona, 7th inning. I was like, really? He remembered it like it was yesterday.
Tell you, all kidding aside, as it's 3-1 on Mora, Vinny can still hit.
Oh, well, things that have been going on lately, kind of you know, baseball has the superstitions everywhere. We're all well aware of all that. So lately, Vinny Castilla and Glen Allen Hill have a home run hitting contest about 2:30 in the afternoon. And Tommy Reynolds has been throwing the home run contest between the two of them. And folks, I want to tell you something.
Ball 4. Oh, strike 3 on Melvin Mora. Wow.
Stewart's not able to play yet. Just go to dugout. Get even later. Don't get in trouble here.
See if this was off the plate or not.
Yeah, it's off the plate a little bit to give it to him. Anyway, Glen Allen Hill hit 3 up on the concourse the other day, and Vinny hit 1 on top of Madeline's, the ice cream shop. Yeah, he'd still hit both of them, can.
That's impressive. 1 strike count on Todd Help. Vinny goes to winter ball still every year.
But he enjoys playing.
He does enjoy playing. And still, you know, he can't play every day anymore, but he's still a very productive hitter down there. He had Glen Allen Hill. He had talking about Vinny, he had a huge winner.
Well, you know, this winter at a World Baseball Classic, Vinny had 2 home runs for Mexico during the Classic.
One and 2. And strike 3 on Help.
Now, that's 2 very good hitters, 2 veteran hitters in a row, having a tough time with Larry Vanover behind the plate on 2 calls in a row. And Jim Tracy's not going to say much early in the game, only late in the game. But this young left-hander's gotten a couple of pitches. It's down a little bit, and it is off the plate. Now, Todd looking at it, is this thing low? Pretty low. I mean, that thing came across right on the knee area, on the shins. And Todd, who has a very good eye.
That is called a ball. Some of the crowd giving him a hard time.
How unusual.
Pulled in the hole, a base hit for Spilborghs. And Miguel Olivo will hit. Miguel's been swinging the bat well. One of the things about this kid so far, in 2 ball games, he throws his fastball on both sides of the plate, and he throws it about 70% of the time, which is higher than the league norm. Another fastball, and it's 0-2. Olivo hitting above 340 on this homestand, including 6 RBIs.
You start to watch patterns of catchers, and I've noticed from Toriyama's 0-2-1-2, he likes to go to a fastball, but he likes to carry it up into the zone a lot, try to get you to chase. Once he gets to the 2-2 situation, then you can start to look off speed again.
And slowly hit to second, and the throw is made by Jerry Hairston to end the inning. Spilborn's left on, he singled. 2-0 as we go to the third, San Diego leading. Top of the third inning. There's our home away from home here at Coors Field with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman, and John Narragoni joins us again from the Boys and Girls Club. It's always good to have you, and we've got to get an update. How's things going with our raffle?
The Rocky Mountain raffle is doing great. However, this is our final week, Drew, so this is the time to make the big push. There's a lot going on, and we're working round the clock.
Good. You can win $1 million.
Up to $1 million in cash, or possibly a beautiful home at the Spire in downtown Denver. But you know, at the end of this thing, there's going to be 90 prizes given away.
So there's a whole lot of stuff that will be given away. And the way to do it, visit RockyMountainRaffle.com or call 877-892-2999. 1 week left, and this benefits Boys and Girls Clubs not only here in Metro Denver. That's a swinging bunt. Olivo is going to throw out. Jerry Hairston one out. It also benefits some of the Boys and Girls Clubs around the state of Colorado.
Over 30,000 kids in 37 different communities around the state are going to benefit from this raffle.
How many folks have made that call or jumped online so far?
Thousands have made the call, but I say there's still more to sell, and we're here to do just that.
So you say 1 week to go. When's it end? What's the last final day and time that if you get it, you're done if it's after that time?
This Friday.
This Friday. Midnight at Friday? You're through taking calls and everything? All right.
You know, let's just say the deadline's now.
The deadline, yeah, I like that idea.
Don't put it off.
Now. Let's go. Don't put it off.
Don't put it off. You know, the old expression, you got to be in it to win it.
No question.
Now, listen to some of these prizes. We're talking about a Dodge Ram truck.
I know.
4x4.
Yeah, I'm hoping on that one.
You know, lots of cash prizes, a trip to Italy for 2. The possibility of $1 million in cash, and of course the possibility of the home at the Spire in downtown Denver.
And a lot of these prizes.
Go ahead, George.
A lot of these prizes donated.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, that's the neatest part about all this.
It's incredible.
A lot of big hearts for the Boys Club.
Absolutely. You know, people in Colorado are just great, but we don't want them to wait until the last minute, George.
No, don't wait till the last minute. Unless you just feel like, you bought $10,000 worth of lottery tickets and you need 20, go ahead. Start today and buy through Friday. How's that?
I'd say if you bought 10,000 worth of lottery tickets,
you got a pretty good chance.
You should be buying 10,000 worth of tickets for the Boys and Girls Clubs.
1 and 2 on Aaron Cunningham with 1 out. That's high. 2 and 2. In what ways will the money be that's raised will be used?
This is going to benefit Boys and Girls Clubs around the state for life-changing programs for the kids who need us the most. And, given your support and FSN support and the Rocky support, you know what goes on in the Boys and Girls Club, and the kids need us.
The thing I love about it is if you're listening, you're a parent out there, and you're running around trying to make a living, and you want a safe environment, a healthy environment for your youngster after school, please contact your local Boys and Girls Club, because John will tell you just how expensive it is to join it. John?
The price has gone up. It's $2 per year to join the Boys and Girls Clubs.
You didn't hear him wrong. It's $2 per year. Aaron Cunningham with his second leg hit of the ball game, and that'll bring up Miguel Tejada, who's the reason the Padres are up. He had a long home run in his last at bat.
I think the neatest thing about the Boys and Girls Club, because I spent a lot of time there as a kid, is the fact it's a safe environment.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? When you're thinking about sending your kid to child care, or you're staying after different things, you don't know who's taking care of your children. You do it the Boys Club and Girls Club.
You're right, George. Yes, it's safe and fun, and there's great adults there, and there's clear expectations for the kids, and lots of wonderful programs.
When they get their homework done before you get there, and you don't have to do the algebra.
Well, there's a lot of academic stuff going on.
Well, I think that's the biggest misconception. People think you go to the Boys Club to shoot baskets, you go to the Boys and Girls Club to swim in the pool, or you play flag football or football in the backyard. There's so much stuff that goes on in the computer rooms, the arts and crafts rooms. I mean, it's a phenomenal place to go.
Yep.
One strike count on Tejada with 1 out. Miguel hit that home run up on the concourse after a lengthy at bat. He fouled off a number of pitches. Runner going, and no chance for Olivo. Aaron Cunningham swipes second base. That's his first bag. But the Padres do this frequently. That's their 116th this year. They're second in the National League in stolen bases to the Mets.
Well, they are. And whenever you don't hit a lot for average and you rely on pitching, sometimes you have to create your own opportunities. And that's what they do by stealing the base.
And Tejada yanks one foul. Here's the home run.
Location of the pitch from Jeff Francis after coming in numerous times. This ball just stayed out in the middle of the plate too much and ended up on the concourse.
So Jeff's working ahead here, 1 and 2 on Tejada, with Cunningham at second base. Adrian Gonzalez is on deck. Rockies trailing 2-0, top of 3.
I'll tell you, the one other thing it tells me, too, a good strikeout on a ball away. Tejada chased one out of the zone. It also tells me, Drew, that his shoulder must be feeling fairly good. He's in the third inning, and he's at pitch 60 right now. And they talked about 60 to 70 pitches for Jeff Francis before they would allow him to extend farther. But the word in the dugout, obviously, from Jeff to Bob Apodaca and Jim Tracy, I'm feeling all right.
Adrenaline's flowing. John Aragoni, who's the president of the Boys and Girls Club in the state of Colorado, has joined us. And there's ways to increase your odds before Friday, right, of maybe winning the grand prize.
Absolutely, and the best way to do that is to buy multiple tickets. So there are discounts when you buy 3 or more tickets. And, I say the more chances you have to win, the greater the odds. And there's a special drawing just for those that buy multiple tickets. So another incentive to do that.
There's an additional
drawing for $5,000 for those that buy more than 1 ticket at a time.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. You got all the angles covered.
Yes, you do. This isn't your first raffle. I know that, John. This is line to left field, and it's going to drop. Here's Gonzalez's throw, trying to get Cunningham on line in time, out of the plate. Olivo holds on. What a gorgeous throw by Carlos Gonzalez. Could not have been any better. Rockies prevent another run. Throw by an unbelievable player. Cunningham can run, folks, and Cargo nailed him, George, by 20 feet.
Yeah, absolutely did. The money right on the line, right over the top of Melvin Morrow to the inside of the bag where you want it, and forced them into the situation. I mean, he stayed behind this ball. There's usually a tail, folks, on a ball coming from a left-handed outfielder. That ball was on a string. You could have hung Saturday's laundry on that thing. That was beautiful.
Jay Payton is going to pinch hit for Jeff Francis. So the Rockies get 3 innings out of Francis and just a little over 60 pitches, which is basically what they felt would be around the ceiling. So now the Rockies bullpen is going to have to eat up 6 innings.
Starting with Ishmael Rogers, the right-hander's back up throwing after 2 very good innings yesterday. And this is one of the reasons he's in the bullpen. He has a very resilient arm and able to maintain his velocity.
Jay drives one to deep right center field. Ludwig going back, can't get it. And it's a ground rule double for the veteran Jay Payton. Welcome back to the big leagues. His first knock in 2 years for the former Rocky in 2003 and part of 2002. Jay Payton, that's great to see.
Well, and you look around, and Dan O'Dowd was doing this. He was looking for a veteran right-handed bat somewhere, and he had one right in the system. He had one in Jay Payton, who had a terrific year at AAA. So you bring up a veteran guy with 10 years in the big leagues and confident to play at this level, and he helps you out here in a ball game in September.
So a leadoff double for Payton, and Eric Young's at the plate. Good speed on second base. Get foul and out of play.
A lot of times your offense will benefit and gain momentum by a defensive play. That's what you're hoping for now with the Gonzalez throw out on home plate.
John, I want to ask you something. John Aragoni is still with us in the Boys and Girls Club. This is something we haven't discussed. You have so many wonderful people who work for you, and I know some people who do great volunteer work. Yes. If you want to volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club, what's the best way to go about that?
Pick up the phone and call your local Boys and Girls Clubs. We have over 2,000 folks in Denver alone that come in and work with the kids and do special projects and so forth, and the doors are always open for volunteers.
That's awesome.
You know, in Tulsa, we get an awful lot of, in my hometown, and we get an awful lot of retired teachers that still enjoy the interaction of children. They just don't want to do it 8 hours a day. So it's nice to come in the afternoon from 3 to 5 and then go home and cook dinner for Dad.
That's absolutely right. No, we like to see volunteers come in.
Way inside, 2-1 on Eric Young. And again, a quick reminder, is we really want to raise as much money as possible. We've done very well with this in years past. We're going to throw up very quickly the Rocky Mountain Raffle. You have to Friday. While you're thinking about it, do it now. The phone number 877-892-2999 and RockyMountainRaffle.com. RockyMountainRaffle.com is a way to reach them online. Plenty of great prizes. These are the grand prizes, but there's over 90 prizes that'll be given away. So it's super, John.
That's it, Drew. Thank you so much. This is just great.
Ground ball right side, and well done by Eric Young. 1 out. John, I know you want to enjoy the game. I'm going to let you fly. Thanks as always for coming by. We're going to keep everybody posted how we do the rest of the week.
Thank you very much.
Please visit anytime.
Thanks for all you've done. Thanks to FSN and thanks to the Colorado Rockies. And George, thank you for your support.
You're welcome. Thank you. You bet.
Guys, tremendous. Let's win this one. Keep the streak going.
I know you're going down to your seats. So that'll be great. Thanks, John.
Thanks, guys.
Care. John Aragoni for the Boys and Girls Clubs. Give that phone number a call. 1 out, and Dexter Fowler has a chance to break the ice here as EY did his job.
And this is the area where he really likes it. 375 average with runners in scoring position. Nobody on. He's hit 212 this year. So it has been one of those special times for Dexter with men on base.
Good swing there on a pitch out over the plate. See how the Rockies do second time through with Lukey. You know, they had an opportunity, George, in that first inning, if you're just joining us, to score. Fowler walked, and then Cargo had a base hit to right. Dexter went to third. The throw by Ludwig went all the way to Headley. It was not cut off, and Cargo took an aggressive turn, and seeing that it went over the head of the shortstop, the cutoff man Tejada, he tried to go to second, but Headley went and met the baseball. Long story short, they got Cargo tied up. Shattered bat, and this is going to be caught in the air. So that's a bad break, and now it's going to take a 2-out hit.
Let's see what happens here. You got a dangerous bat. I want to see how this kid reacts to one of the hottest hitters, MVP candidates in baseball. You know, I think one thing Torrealba is out telling him right now, look, you were hesitant to throw the slider. In warm-ups, and the slider you threw to Tulowitzki, they were good sliders. So let's believe in it and try to go to that pitch at this time versus giving him a total steady diet of nothing but fastballs.
Yeah, it's interesting. You have 2 outs. You're up 2-0. You're in the early innings. And because Carlos Gonzalez comes to the plate, this is how much respect he has garnered throughout baseball. You have a big conference at the mound.
Well, they're talking about which way they're going to take the avenue. Are you going in? Are you going away? They show in early.
Man, oh man, he has gotten away, George, with 3 pitches to Carlos Gonzalez.
Well, see, I think that was a little bit elevated and it was in a little bit. I don't think it was as good as the other 2 that you're talking about that he really missed. See, that ball's a little bit in, and from a lefty, it's going to have a little tail on the hands. But those other 2 you were talking about, yeah, those are like sitting on a tee screaming, hit me.
1 ball, 1 strike. And the National League Player of the Week is on deck if Lukey glances in that direction. Now that's a pitch, and that's a good pitcher's pitch. George, honestly, that's the pitch he called Helton out on.
Well, same exact location. It was on that outer half of the plate, but you can see right now he's got a foul ball up and in, but away. Gonzalez has been able to read that and lay off of that thing.
Jay Payton at third.
Tell you what, this young lefty, a lot of them don't want to come inside on left-handers. They don't want to elevate. He's not scared to come in there at all. See, he's constantly licking his hands, and he's trying to get a better grip on the baseball. He's rubbing it together to where he gets something to feel for that slider.
He must have a little late movement or something, because Gonzalez has fouled 4 good pitches off the hit. Straight back, just missed it by a smidgen. 2-2 with 2 outs. And he strikes him out with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. And again, the Rockies miss on an opportunity to score after a leadoff double by the pinch hitter, Jay Payton. E470, open your Express Toll account today and start saving money on E470. Rockies have 3 more here at home, including this one, obviously. The Padres will depart after Wednesday's game, Thursday an off day, and then the Rockies will head to Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. Final 3 times they'll see L.A. And then let's take a look at what the other 4 teams that the Rockies are competing for postseason berths with have left. The Padres are going to be on the road 13 times and just at home 7 times. The team with the most favorable schedule is that one. The Giants will be on the road for 6, at home for a dozen. The Dodgers will be there. Milwaukee, Arizona and San Diego. Philadelphia has an even split. Atlanta has an even split, and they still play 6 more times against one another. That kind of gives you a feel for what these clubs have left. Esmil Rogers now in the 4th inning. Slider for a strike. Facing Ryan Ludwig. So Jeff Francis goes 3 innings. He gives up a couple runs on 5 hits.
The second appearance you make like this on back-to-back days, sometimes what you do, you'll see some good fastballs early. We saw one there at 97. But sometimes relief pitchers that second day out after 2 innings will go more to the slider, curveball, and then try to sneak the fastball by you.
Oh-2 on Ludwig, and that's on the ground to 3rd.
I'll tell you what, this is a really good read by Moore. I mean, you've got a guy that is a strictly pull hitter in Ludwig. You got a guy that, you know, you can look in as a third baseman. You can see the catcher's sign. So Melvin Mora and Tulowitzki both pulled to that left side, so you don't give up the double down the left field line that hugs the line. You crowd that line, and 2 times they've been able to handle that and had success doing it.
Now, a couple ways you can, you know, cheat in that direction, George, as you well know. The one you just described, knowing, you know, seeing middle infield guys, see it's off speed, and also reading swings. You can read that pull swing.
Well, history tells you the swings. I mean, history tells you, you look at spray charts, as much paperwork and scouting that they have today. I mean, it's different when you see a guy for the very first time and how he's reacting. But spray charts, direction of hits, those kind of things give you a history of what they do with the baseball.
One and one on Chase Headley, 1 and 2 on Headley.
Well, Headley flipped around the other way now. That's a pretty ugly swing on a good fastball.
Olivo wants up and away.
Now, going back to what Drew's been talking about, positioning of the left side of your infield and what you do with it. 89 hits have been left of second base for Ludwig this year. Only 19 have gone to the right of second base. So obviously, he's going to pull the ball pretty hard to the left side.
Good pitch. Back foot slider as Rogers strikes out Headley.
Well, it's one of the most difficult pitches for left-handers to handle because you got to get out front on the pitch so much. And on the Hyundai cam, see that red dot start to form in the back of the baseball as it drops on that back area of home plate. To keep that ball in fair territory is very difficult for a left-hander.
Here's Chris DeNorfia, and he waves at a slider. It's 0-1. Padres and Giants tied atop the National League West. The Padres were way out in front a few weeks ago. In fact, they led the Rockies. That's another wave job. They led the Rockies by 11 games at one point. Now the Rockies just a game and a half out. They're trailing here in the 4th 2-0. On August 22nd, the Rockies trailed by 11 games. They won that night 1-0 in Phoenix behind Yoeli Chacín. And what a dominant inning for Rogers. 1, 2, 3, including a couple of punch outs. See the Rockies get the offense going against Lutke. Tulowitzki will start it out. 40% more for your gold. Again, here's Alana.
Guys, the Padres have a vaunted pitching staff. A lot of young arms doing some pretty impressive things all season long for San Diego to really keep them in first place pretty much wire to wire for the 2010 season. But I'm pretty sure the entire pitching staff doesn't want to see the Rockies anymore. This is the 6th and final time that these two teams will meet in the regular series, in the regular season. And the Padres pitching staff has the worst ERA versus Colorado in 2010 against any other team. A 5.12 ERA versus the Rockies, 5 versus Toronto, 4.58 against Atlanta. Now, the 3 scheduled starters coming into tonight's game, 1-4 and 8 starts with a 4.86 ERA, guys.
Good play by Jerry Hairston to take a base hit away from Troy Tulowitzki, 1 out. Well, one of the other things about that graphic that Alana was addressing is that the Rockies have played 15 games against the Padres. Atlanta sees them in a home-and-home series. Toronto saw them for 3 ball games. So even though they did some nice work offensively against the vaunted San Diego pitching staff, you're talking about 15 games worth of offensive numbers for the Rockies against San Diego, and that's why they've won 11 of those 15.
Yeah, it's fun to watch Mora when he's playing on a winning team and he realizes he's going to have to play a lot, and he has lately. You know, veteran guys, those guys that have got the 8 to 12 years in the big leagues, they seem to find the extra energy. They find the way to be successful. And Moore in his last 47 at-bats has hit .298, nearly 300. Making a lot of plays at third base for you, too.
2-1. Rockies had a leadoff double from the pinch hitter, Jay Payton, in the 3rd inning. He was moved to third by Eric Young, but then a broken bat line out by Dexter Fowler. And Carlos Gonzalez struck out on a 2-2 pitch. And a base hit for Mora. Melvin tripled off Lukey in San Diego. And here's Helt. AT&T trivia question on a Monday night at Coors Field. San Diego's one of 5 National League teams with a winning road record. Who are the other 4 teams? And that 38-30 is the best road record in the National League. A calm guy is Bud Black. That's a strike. He has a very even demeanor.
Well, I think that carried over to him being for so long as a pitcher. He started out as a pitching coach, then he became a bench coach. So, I mean, it's all part of running a ball club.
There's a bench coach for Mike Scioscia in Anaheim. And he really enjoyed that job. And he had a little longer drive going up to Anaheim. He's always lived in the San Diego area. It's a good fit, though. Bud Black and the Padres. Up high, 2-1 on Helt.
Well, if you want to, register online by September the 14th for your opportunity to buy 2010 postseason tickets. That's right. If the Rockies happen to get in, you can go online and right now and register to have that opportunity to get postseason tickets. ColoradoRockies.com for more information.
Outfield pretty much straight up for Helt. Infield looking for 2. And Todd didn't get the baseball there on a fastball. 2-2.
Yeah, that outfield positioning a little bit surprising because against hard-throwing left-handers of the last couple of years, Todd has a knack to shoot this ball out into this area. So by playing straight up a lot of times, you open those gaps up for him.
Well, wasted a good pitch there. Good pitcher's pitch. Good swing by Todd to earn another opportunity to swing the bat. Ryan Spilborghs, who had a base hit his first time, he's on deck. And Todd walked to the outside corner, and maybe that little conversation with Larry Vanover from the last at bat pays off
you know what?
this one.
History tells you umpires are going to miss them. They're going to get them right sometimes. This time he got it right. Torey Alba tried to frame that thing, but it is off the outside part of the plate.
This ball is driven to left field. Cunningham going back, and he makes the catch. Todd gave it a ride. Mora returns to first. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Spilborghs. Check out our Geico quote of the day. We haven't quoted this guy in a while. Babe Ruth. Baseball was, is, and always will be, to me, the best game in the world. Well put, George Herman Ruth. Our Geico quote of the day. Spilborghs a single to left. Got Mora at first base.
I think the greatest thing about baseball is everybody can play it. You don't have to weigh, you don't have to be 7 foot tall. You don't have to run fast. You don't have to throw it necessarily hard all the time.
Popped up and out of play.
I don't know, maybe I'm just strange, but I love to stop by Little League fields and just watch the kids play. Watch the 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds playing the game. And, you know, and you look in there and you dream, they're dreaming of the lights of Coors Field, of that opportunity to play at the big league level.
No, you never get tired of that. Never get tired of watching the kids play the game. And you know what? Swung on and missed 0-2. When you strip it down and you remove the business side and obviously the compensation, etc., and all the fans, these guys right now, they're playing and they're joyous each day because they love the game, and this is a special time of year.
For me, what it is, and when I've watched this ball club, and folks, in 13 years of doing Rockies baseball, they didn't win, they didn't win, they didn't win. In 07 they won. Okay, 08 they didn't. 09 they did again. What I find with this interesting with this locker room, they're not playing for the dollar bill. They're playing for the ring. They want a World Series ring. They don't want a silver one this time. They want a gold one.
Well, Lupke continues to get all the big outs. He's throwing a shutout through 4 innings. He's an impressive rookie. With the nation's fastest 3G network, AT&T Rethink Possible. By Dex One Marketing Solutions Business Results. And by the fastest growing car dealer in America, Hyundai. Well, the difference in this game, Miguel Tejada 2-run home run off Jeff Francis in the first inning. Jeff, because of a pitch count, gave the Rockies 3 innings. This is the second inning of work now for Esmil Rogers. He had a 1-2-3-4. And he'll face 8, 9, and 1 in that Padres lineup. Here's Yorvit Torrealba. And the fastball's in. You know, yesterday, Matt Latos was on the hill trying to earn a split with the Giants, and Latos has just been lights out, really throughout the year, but he had set a big league record, as that misses. Coming into yesterday's game, George, he had worked 15 straight games, allowing 2 runs or less. It's a major league record. It never happened before in big league history. He went 9-1 with a 1.49 ERA during that span, covering more than 96 innings. So they had their guy going yesterday, and lo and behold, George, he gives up 5 in 4 innings. He was due for a little bit of a setback, and they go on to lose 6-1. So now the kid in his 3rd major league start, Corey Lutke, comes out, and he's throwing up zeros.
Throwing up dead zeros right now. That's something he's done. I really think part of it is he's found his slider in the last couple of innings. Philadelphia all over Florida, 11-4 tonight. And Atlanta's already beat Washington 4-0.
2-2 on Torrealba. Ground ball to short his first time. Another slider and a left side ground ball. Mora gobbles and fires one out. Let's answer our AT&T trivia question. Padres have a winning record on the road, 38-30 to be exact. They're one of 5 National League teams with a winning record, and the other 4, you got to figure, are good teams, playoff type teams, and they are the Phillies, their playoff type team. The Marlins may be a surprise in that grouping. The Reds, no surprise. The Giants, no surprise. The only one that probably opens your eyes a little bit, the Florida Marlins.
Well, I think the reason they play well on the road is because they got somebody they're playing in front of.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they like to go on the road. The fans get on them. They cheer a little bit. I mean, I just think that might be part of it.
That could be Kansas City. And that slider misses. 2-2. Yankees got swept by the Texas Rangers over the weekend, and that division up for grabs. Yankees leading the Rays by a half a game. Swung on and missed, and Lukey's gone. I'm gonna bring up Jerry Hairston. First start in a while for Jerry. Been on the disabled list. So I think Jerry's a winning player, George, but if he's got to play every day.
Well, he's a little bit like Giambi. I mean, he's one of those guys you could play two times a week, maybe 3, and then you got to rest him the other 4, pinch hit him a little bit. His body wears down.
He was placed on the disabled list on August 28th with a right elbow sprain. And there's his brother Scott. He's got a shoulder strain. Scott was in the original starting lineup. He had great numbers against Jeff Francis, but during batting practice he aggravated the injury. Oh, it's neat for me watching Rogers, George, because we've seen him as a starter, and now he's working back-to-back days, but he's still clicking 96.
Well, that's what I talked about. That's why it was so much better for him to go to the bullpen than Jeff Francis. You say, well, man, why would you like to have that out there a little more? Well, there's one shot into left field. Don't try to go for second here. Let me help you out, Mr. Hairston. But I think the one thing, his arm is so resilient. He's young, and it bounces back so quick that it makes it advantage for the Rockies to have him down in the bullpen. He's in a valuable role today against these Padres, trying to eat up some innings and maintain things. Hard slider down and away, and he just gets it by Mora into the outfield, and shot right by him as he dove for the baseball.
Aaron Cunningham at the plate. He's 2 for 2. He has 2 infield hits. One a slow roller to Mora in his last at bat. The first one was a ground ball deep in the hole that Tulowitzki made his normal patented play on. Made a great play. It's just Cunningham runs well. He just beat it. 1-0. Depending how Rogers feels, George, and depending on what Miguel Olivo does next inning, it potentially could be all for Rogers. He's due up second inside. The reason I say that is, if Olivo got a base hit, maybe you have Rogers move him along if you want to try to get another inning out of him if he's up for it. Or Jim Tracy may say, with a deep bench and a deeper bullpen, he may just say, all right, you gave me 2 good innings, and we're going to go to the bench right now offensively.
Well, the thing is, I think he went right at 33 pitches yesterday. So you know, you look at 33, you mount up what he's done today too. I mean, you got to add that up. And look at how it's helping or not helping. You know, and what's the bullpen situation and how they're going to do it. But as they get deeper into that ball game, this is where you get into the Matt Reynolds area. This is where you get into those other guys, and you can stay away from some of the younger players.
Hey, repair any damage to your windshield by calling Safelite Auto Glass at 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com. Joe Beimel's getting up, George, in case for me it gets to Adrian Gonzalez in this inning. I have to believe that's why Beimel's up.
Yeah, well, that's the one guy that he's on too.
You hope it doesn't get that far. 2 outs.
The thing about Joe Beimel is, you know, he knows how to warm up. So once he gets loose, he'll just stand and watch. He's not going to waste anything down in the bullpen area. Number of pitches thrown. You see the numbers here, though, by Joe Beimel versus Adrian Gonzalez. He's had his number for a while, 154.
That bat's no good anymore. 2-2.
What it is, if you got some penny nails and some duct tape.
I don't even know if that's fixable, George.
Oh, yeah, it worked in the backyard. Absolutely.
A wiffle ball game.
Fixed a lot worse bats than that. Let's explode some lumber. Look on the Hyundai cam. Oh yeah.
You know what? You can put that. You can put the super glue in there, put it in a vise. That works too. And tape it up. 2-2. Just missed on a slider. 3-2. Hairston will be going. Three and 2 on Aaron Cunningham.
So you got to believe that these two probably faced each other sometime during the year in AAA. Padres ball club, their AAA team was in Portland this year, playing in the Pacific Coast League.
Three and 2 on Cunningham, who was born in Anchorage, Alaska. Grew up in the state of Washington. Ball 4. And now it'll be Miguel Tejada with 2 on, and Bob Apodaca on the jog to the mound.
Well, that's the matchup you want to stay away from, Beimel and Gonzalez.
Tejada, 2-run home run in the first inning against Jeff Francis, and then Francis struck him out on a fastball away.
You see right now he's sitting at 32 today. 33 was the correct count yesterday for him. So 65 pitches in 48 hours. Or excuse me, 24 hours. It wasn't an off day from yesterday, was it?
No. Hey, see, George, this is how it works.
Hey, there's
baseball.
your buddy.
They all play on Sunday. Yeah, there's Brian.
Trying to hang out on TV again.
He's become a good luck charm for the Rockies. An intern from the University of Pittsburgh in Keith Duggar's training room. Here's Tejada with 2 on.
Veteran bat. I mean, this is where it gets a little testy for the younger guy. Because you have a veteran bat that's typically pretty disciplined bat at the plate. Been an RBI guy throughout his career. The 2-run home run back in the first, the difference in the ball game. He's going to make you throw strikes.
Picks on, and the throw is knocked down. But everybody's going to move up.
And usually it's Tulowitzki that comes over to put the pick on. That time it was Eric Young Jr. This is where you have 2 outs. You got a 1-0 count on a veteran hitter. I know you're trying to shorten up an inning, but the one thing you have to do is make a good throw. When you make this turn and the pickoff is on, you do not want to have your body locked up when you're throwing. In other words, you want to be able to get your hips open to the target. And when you lock up because you spin too fast, that's when you have the errant throw, because your arm works under the baseball.
That's in there, 1-1. 36-year-old Miguel Tejada from Boni in the Dominican Republic. Missed 1 and 2.
88-mile-an-hour slider to bottom just fell right out of this thing. I mean, the young warrior going against the veteran, and that thing center cut and just see you later. You talk about late breaking in the zone in the Hyundai cam. Great shot of it.
Needs to make one more pitch. Ground ball, base hit. This will score 2. And now the Rockies have a bigger hill to climb, 4-0, as Miguel Tejada has driven in all 4 this evening. And that, I'm sure, will be all for Esmil Rogers. He got the first 2 in the inning without a problem. And then Hairston, a base hit, the walk to Cunningham on a 3-2 pitch. And ahead of Tejada 1-2. That fastball was over the middle of the plate. Tonight's call to the bullpen is brought to you by Xfinity Voice, unlimited local and long distance calling. Call 1-800-XFINITY. It'll be Joe Bible when we come back to Coors Field.
This camera, watch this right here. Watch his head and watch as the ball comes in. Look at his eyes just track all the way in until contact to the bat. And then you sit here to look at his head and look at this. I mean, that is just a thing of beauty. I mean, I'm sorry it was a Padre hitter, but I mean, you watch that come through, and on that shot with that Hyundai cam out of center, that's really a neat tool for us in this telecast. Hope you enjoy it at home. Sorry we had to do it on a Padre hitter.
Joe Beimel against Adrian Gonzalez, and Tejada draws a throw from Beimel. The problem with that pitch from Rogers' perspective, George, is it was thigh high over the middle of the plate, and he was ahead 1-2.
An ugly swing on the slider before that. He just didn't want anything to do with it. 65th appearance for Joe. By the way, his 20 holes tied for 6th in the National League. The leader is in this ballpark in Gregerson with the San Diego Padres with 34.
4-0 San Diego. The Rockies have been out hit 7 of 4.
The main reason for this move to be made, you see these numbers. We showed them to you earlier when the two guys were warming up, Gonzalez and Beimel. 4 for 26 with 4 strikeouts. Contact is made. It's just typically right at somebody. And he look at breaking ball. That ball got by him. That was a guess swing there.
He swung at a pitch out of the zone.
You know, hitting left-handed off Beimel, he hadn't had success. See the ball already by and almost caught by the time his bat got into the zone.
1-2 on Adrian Gonzalez. And then he fouls this pitch off. How good's Gonzalez been? How about this? .361 average over his last 35 games. This is truly a guy that carries a heavy load offensively for his team. He has a hit in 30 of his last 35, including 6 home runs, 22 RBIs, non-base percentage of .430.
Could you imagine if he played somewhere besides Petco? I mean, he's got 17 home runs on the road. He's hit .312 on the road, but at Petco, 259 at bats, 10 home runs, .297. It's a great average, don't get me wrong. There's not much separation there. I just think he'd probably be maybe one of the few guys in the game today that would hit 50 home runs again.
Well, if you put him in a real favorable home park, I mean, he'd do a lot of damage here, but, you know, one of the big home run parks like
put him in Yankee Stadium.
Yankee Stadium, Citizens Bank, Cincinnati's Park, Great American. Yep, no question.
Got away at one there, 90-mile-an-hour fastball, but it was elevated enough in the zone.
You know what he has, and to me, we all remember Rafael Palmeiro and forget about what he did or didn't do, but in terms of just his swing, Rafael Palmeiro had one of the more effortless swings from the left side, and that's kind of Adrian Gonzalez.
There's 3 guys that fall into that category for me, Drew. Gonzalez is one of those guys. Chase Utley's the other.
Yeah.
That's a lot like Palmeiro, who you're talking about. It's just like he took the swing like it might go to left field. Oh, it's out of the ballpark.
Yeah. I mean, the ball just jumps off his bat. Utley's just amazingly short to the baseball, just really quick getting the barrel.
But you know, you don't see him spinning off and doing everything. He's just, everything's very well balanced.
Beimels had to throw 8 pitches already to Gonzalez.
They never like a good hitter to see a lot of pitches on anybody.
There will be a 10th pitch.
Well, they've been a little bit of everywhere, but most importantly, you see not many things down in the strike zone. Everything's working up in the zone. Not letting him get on top of the ball and trying to drive it.
And a base hit to center field. He stayed back on a breaking ball. This play by Fowler for a moment, and that will allow Tejada to go to third. That'll be an error on Dexter, and that's his first error of the year. That's how good he's played out there.
And he really hit it. I mean, all he's trying to do is make sure he gets to this ball in a hurry because he was shaded over. And the ball took a hop and hit off of his wrist. And when it happened, Tejada able to advance to third base. Gonzalez at first, just his 5th hit in 27 at-bats against Joe Beimel.
Beimel now will face Ludwig. Ludwig is 1 for 2.
2 errors in the inning for the Rockies. That's a little uncharacteristic. To throw by Ismael Rogers, and then now this one by Dexter Fowler.
Yeah, they've been one of the top 5 or 6 teams defensively in the National League this year. It's kind of typical of what they do. They play solid defense. That's a strike also, 0-2.
Part of that is you've got two guys in your rotation that are strikeout artists in the Rockies. Everybody else kind of puts the ball in play, so you've got to be able to have the good defense.
Two-strike count on Ludwig. Good block.
Hey, get your tickets today, and I mean today, for the fireworks on September 24th when the Giants are in town. Call 1-800-388-ROCK or go online to ColoradoRockies.com for the fireworks show while the Giants are here.
Ludwig hitting only .202 against lefties. But he's got a hit there and another run for San Diego. And for the Padres, they've hit the 5-run mark for the first time in more than 2 weeks. They've gone 16 games into tonight, stuck on 4 or less. And they have 2 or less in 11 of those 16. They've matched what they did in the entire series of 4 games against the Giants this past Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And all of these runs, George, the 3 that have now come across with 2 outs.
2 outs and unearned. I mean, that's the worst part about it. You made those 2 errors to let guys advance all the time. Escalona now throwing for the Rockies down in the bullpen. And this is what Jim Tracy had to decide on. Okay, listen. Game gets carried away. The young kids are going to get a chance to come in and pitch a little bit.
And you're not putting up the white flag, but what you're saying is until we can get back in it offensively, we're not going to waste the bullets of a Matt Belisle or certainly a Rafael Betancourt, and it doesn't make sense to do that. But Bimel's got to put this inning down with Chase Headley at the plate. Give that potent offense an opportunity to get going. They've been blanked so far by Corey Lupke, making his 3rd big league start. And now Lupke, George, has been sitting a while.
Yeah, he has been sitting a little while. Probably going to welcome the fact of get up, walk around a little bit, do something. That'll have an effect on him.
A 22-minute half inning. You know, Bimel was in position to get Gonzalez. Gonzalez a great hitter. He fouled off a bunch of pitches, and he finally got one he could handle, and he lined it to center field. He was ahead of Ludwig 1-2. Bimel's not going to strike you out typically. He's going to get you to mishit it somehow. No advancement by Adrian Gonzalez. Chopped over the mound. Eric Young is there, and he'll make the play at second base unassisted. 8 come to the plate in the 5th inning for San Diego. 3 score, 5-0. The Padres lead, middle of 5. result. On this date, 1996, by hitting his 30th home run, Dante Bichette joins Ellis Burks as a member of the 30-30 club. 30 home runs, 30-plus stolen bases. Colorado joins the Mets as the only teams in history to have two 30-30 players in a season. Dougie, who are the Mets? Hojo and Darryl Strawberry? Yeah, Darryl Strawberry, Howard Johnson, who would become a Rocky late in his career. Miguel Olivo takes a strike. In the on-deck circle, Chris Nelson. Rockies have not been able to figure out Corey Lutke tonight. He's been spotting his fastball. And he's gotten big outs. Rockies, George, had an opportunity in the first and an opportunity in the third.
Really, really big outs. I mean, he's made some pitches to get through things. Maybe he's just starting to get comfortable at the big leagues. But, you know, looking into their future, think about it. Clayton Richard, very young arm. Yet this young lefty, that's two pretty good lefties with some power arms that you can run out there at you. And then you got Matt Latos to mix with it. I saw Chris Young today on the way in. First round of the California playoffs, California League playoffs. You got to go against Chris Young. He goes 5 2/3 innings for Lake Elsinore. Got the win in the game. He said he felt bad going down there and pitching in the ball game. You know, it was a rehab start, but it was the only avenue.
So he's in the air to right field. Easy play for Ludwig. 1 out.
But the opposition made 7 errors in the first 3 innings, so he said the game got away pretty quick.
Well, that's not his fault.
No, he won. The opposition made 7 errors, and it was like 8-0. He just felt bad. I mean, I said, well, you felt bad, but would you feel worse if you went down there and gave up 8 or 9 runs in 4 innings and that happened to you? I know that happened last year with the Rockies organization. They sent Greg Smith in to make a start in Tulsa, and he gave up 8 runs in 2 innings.
Chris Nelson at the plate. First time Rockies fans have gotten to see Chris since he made that mad dash on an aborted suicide squeeze when he took off a little early and stole home. That's a strike, 0-2. This kid's just pitching with his fastball, George. I mean, he's thrown a few good sliders. You mentioned that. But he's been locating his fastball.
Well, that's what you're taught to do in the minor leagues. Get location of the fastball to both sides of the plate. And then once you get it down on both sides, now you can start to hit every quadrant. You can go up and in, up and away, down and in, down and away, and pitch to those zones. And you'll have success with those. It's another one of those matchups that Jim Tracy, see, the thing he's looking at, folks, with 1 out, I'm going to send Chris Nelson up here because Chris Nelson faced him this year in AAA more than 1 time.
Chris Nelson, George, every time he's come up, and he's only had, a couple handfuls of at-bats, less than that in the big leagues, he has given them a good at-bat.
He's done a very nice job as a student. Now, remember on Thursday, here he comes. Everybody look. But Bassett on the mound. He steals home plate. And the Rockies win that ball game 6-5. He's going home, not the second. Beautiful. You talk about firing up. I mean, that was like firing up that whole entire dugout. The 2 of his close friends, fly ball to right. The 2 of his best friends, Fowler and Young, were hurtling over the top of the fences in the dugout because there was an exciting play, and they pulled it off. And they all want to feel a part of this, whether they qualify for postseason roster or if they happen to get there or whatever. This team really makes these young guys feel a part of what they're trying to get done, and they really utilize them.
Now, the Rockies need a couple of blows to the gap to get them going, get some positive vibes back in that dugout. Down 5-0 with 2 outs, and there's a base hit for Fowler. Nelson, who's 5 for 9 at the plate in his young career, goes to second.
This league's easy, right?
Well, now you have Carlos Gonzalez, and if you can get a big blow here,
that's right.
That doesn't have to be a bomb, but you get one in the gap, the way Dexter runs, you get on the board 5-2, and you get that field tilted back toward the Rockies.
Well, you know what? Everybody sits around and comes in here to play the Rockies. They wait for this to happen. They just say, all right, here we go. What's going to happen next to us instead of I'm going to stop this. Line drive to left field by Dexter on a pitch in the middle of the plate. Bud Black starting to look. Darren Balsley, his pitching coach, was there under Bruce Bochy as a pitching coach.
Third at bat for Cargo against Lupke. He had a base hit against him in the first and then struck out, though he fouled off a couple pitches he was right on in the third. Ryan Spilborghs was telling me before the ball game, one of the things that sets apart Carlos Gonzalez. And this is pulled through the hole, a base hit. Here comes Nelson, and the throw to the plate is offline. Going to third is Fowler. It is 5-1. So the Rockies on the board, the crowd involved, and now you start to get momentum going back in your direction.
Right, too, and the run driven in by Cargo. He's got 101 now. All gets started by the youngster Nelson when he hits this ball up the middle. Then, of course, Fowler pulls it to left. And then this time aggressive on a fastball up. That ball was not down in the zone. Drew, you made the point. Lupke set for a while in between those innings, 23 minutes to be exact, before he came back out. Now all of a sudden 3 base hits, and he got a 5-1 ball game.
Cargo's got his 101st RBI. George, to finish the thought on what Spilborghs was saying about Gonzalez, he said he is a very, very smart hitter. He said all the great ones are. They make adjustments inside in at bat. And he said, you know he's filed away, George. The first 2 at-bats, he went after him with fastballs, and he struck him out with a fastball away in his last at-bat. He files that away. He got a fastball away in the first pitch in his third at-bat, and he hooks it.
Yeah, and then what they've been doing is coming inside all the time. And Torrey Alvin maybe outsmarted himself a little bit there by going away versus staying in.
Here's Tulowitzki, a strikeout and a rocket. One hopper to Jerry Hairston at second that Hairston made a nice play on. 2 on and 2 outs. Tulowitzki, a home run against Lupke in San Diego at Petco Park. Crowd doing their Tulo chant. This place has been electric over the last 8 days. Tulo drives it, center field, high and deep. Did he get it? You bet! 3-run bomb, Troy Tulowitzki. Here come the Rockies.
Second time Tulowitzki has gotten Lupke in a week. Hit one out on him, a 2-run shot to dead center field in San Diego. He gets him again here to make it a 5-4 ball game.
You want to see the Coors Light cold hard blast? Look again. Same place he hit it at Petco. This was a bomb.
And all he could do is chase it. That's all Denorfia could do, and then try to climb the wall. He couldn't climb to where that ball landed.
Rockies strike back with 2 outs. You think these aren't big hits? You don't think it's a big time of the year?
And to think about something right now, you know what? If that bullpen would have been a little bit stronger there with Ismail and the errors and the things that went on, now you got the lead 5-2. You're right back smack in the middle of this thing.
1 and 2 on Melvin Mora. He had a sharp single his last time up. And now you rethink how you work the bullpen, George. You got a 1-run game.
Well, Belisle's up now. You don't have Escalona up. Escalona was going to be a guy that might come into the ball game if you were still down 5-0. But now you got a 1-run ball game. You don't put the youngster out. You put the guy that has been so good for you. And Matt Belisle, who worked just a short inning yesterday.
Whole different deal now. 1-run affair, bottom of the 5th.
And their bullpen's as good as the Rockies' bullpen. You want to get after them. You want to do it now. You don't want to get beyond the 6th inning against the Padres. They are good.
And Mora rips it up the middle. How about Melvin Mora, 38 years young, playing every day now at third base with the injury to Ian Stewart. And most every night you see him on base a couple of times. Here comes Helton to the plate.
Bud Black's just trying to nurse it through this 1 inning and get everything going if they can. It has not been easy to do here. Fastball just center cut right down the middle, and it's a shot right back up the middle. The Rockies, this 3rd time through, have taken advantage of the youngster.
quick note on Troy Tulowitzki. 12 home runs in his first 94 games. There's nothing wrong with that. That's pretty solid. 9 home runs in his last 11 games. Outside and low on Helton. Todd drove the ball to deep left field his last at bat. He struck out looking in the second inning on a pitch that looked to be off the plate. And he hits left, base hit to right. Mora's going to go to third. Spilborg's coming up. Can Bud Black get somebody ready fast enough? All of this with 2 outs. Fowler a single, Gonzalez a single, Tulowitzki a 3-run home run, Mora a single, Helton a single. 5 straight knocks. No cheapies in there.
No, it's all been line drives. And Bud Black, you know what, youngster? You did what you could do. That long inning hurts you. This ball's been up. The one that Mora was up to, the whiskey was up. I'm going to get you out of here and try to bring a fresh arm in and stop the bleeding right now. You got first and third. Helton's pumped up. He's happy to see what's going on with his ball club and continuing on a little bit stronger.
Ernesto Frieri will be the new pitcher, the former closer for their AAA club in Portland. Rockies within a run. Joined at the hip right now. Single and an RBI for Cargo. 3-run bomb for Tulowitzki. And the Rockies apparently not done in the 5th inning. They've hit around. Ryan Spilborg's 1 for 2. He's up there with runners at first and third. Mora at third. He singled. Helton just singled. Ernesto Frieri's on the mound.
And tough to hit, too. Really crossfires to the plate. You mentioned closer in AAA, so he's used to pressure situation. 26th appearance for him here. Very fine earned run average. The walk strikeouts, what you look for. Their ERA of 2.72 as a bullpen is first in the National League.
Good fastball. That had some late movement on it. It's 1-1.
Strikeouts per 9 innings, they are first. Least amount of walks per 9 innings, they are first.
Spilborg's faced Frieri, George, in San Diego, and he had a fly ball to right field against him. So he's seen him in game action. That's a beautiful pitch.
I mean, you know, as a hitter, you just tip your hat. That's just nasty. It's 93 miles an hour. He just threw you a nasty slider for strike 1. He comes right back with heat to the corner. It's a little bit off of the plate, but it's running a little bit this way, so that's why he gets the call. Vanover's been consistent on the outside corner.
And this is chopped to Headley, and he makes an accurate throw to Jerry Hairston. In the inning, the Rockies get back in it in a big way. 3-run home run from Troy Tulowitzki after a Carlos Gonzalez RBI hit. Loto magic on display yet again. home run to get the Rockies within a run as we go to the 6th. Hey, Emmy Award-winning coverage of Colorado high school football returns to FSN Rocky Mountain Thursday, and it's a great battle. A couple of traditional 5A powers. Arvada West, the Wildcats will be taking on the Cherry Creek Bruins at 7:30 right here on FSN Rocky Mountain. It's the best of high school football coverage only on FSN Rocky Mountain Thursday night at 7:30. That'll be a lot of fun. Nothing better than high school football. Seth Smith's in the ballgame now in right field. Double switch. Spilborghs comes out. And on the hill now in a one-run ball game is Matt Belisle. And now San Diego is going to go to their bench.
Yeah,
Chris
Venable
Denorfia is out, and Will Venable.
Absolutely. 68 appearance for the right-hander. That's everybody's going to play this game. They feel like right now, as both managers do, a momentum swing now. And that's why they've gone to the left-hander Venable to face the right-handed throwing Belisle.
1-1 on Will Venable. Venable started yesterday in the 6-1 loss at San Diego. 6-1 loss for the Padres against the Giants. He did have 2 hits in the game. He and Headley, the only 2. Look out for the bat. Pick up the baseball. Well done by Eric Young. That had to be really, really disconcerting, George, because the bat was ahead of the baseball, and it was coming right at Young.
Well, that's where you really got to pay attention and watch and see exactly. All right, find the ball. It's on the ground, not hit hard. Find the bat, and avoid it. And then come make the play on the baseball. And he did a very good job barehanding this baseball and avoiding the flight and then making the strong throw over.
Yeah, I think the bat, George, made him lose where exactly the baseball was, because obviously he wouldn't have tried to do it with his bare hand.
Well, I think that's why his first instinct, he looked at to see the ball on the ground. Now the bat's into the air. I need to avoid that bat and then relocate the ball. The ball wasn't hit that hard. The bat just exploded.
Torrealba 0 for 2 in the game. Look out. 0-2 on Jorvik. For your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Braconier at 303-777-3037. Think green. Think Braconier. Here's the big Texan, Matt Belisle. Fastball, tried to paint, just missed. Did Jorvik say close? Is that what he mouthed to Larry Vanover? You bet it was close. That's what he mouthed. Backhand stop to Lewitsky. That's a tough part. And now a throw to help. Todd did like literally, you had to make sure you had the bag, Joe. You stamped on it. You know when you're 7 years old, you catch it first, and then where's the bag? You stamp on it.
Exactly. They're gonna go back again, and they're gonna pinch hit now. Baxter, the young left-handed hitter, is gonna do it. The backhand from Tulowitzki. I think the reason behind this, Hilton's thinking, is this ball going to get into the dirt area? But he had his foot over the foul line on the inside part of the bag when he went over. That's why it was the glance bag. I mean, Hilton typically one of those guys that finds it pretty quickly.
This is Mike Baxter, a young outfielder.
Yeah, Todd looked into the dugout to say, all right, where do we need to play this guy? This again is where you rely on Renee Laxman, Stu Cole, guys that have managed and coached at the AAA level. Doug Litton is also here, the pitching coach for the Sky Sox. How did you pitch them, and how did you play them?
Outside 1-1 on Baxter. Ryan Webb apparently will be the next arm utilized by Bud Black. And a ground ball to EY. No bat flying at him. And he gets Baxter with the run. Good inning for Belisle. 1-2-3 for the Padres in the 6th. Rockies within a run.
the 101st RBI of the 2010 season. I said, how do you not deal with the MVP and Triple Crown hype in a way that it's negative? He said, you know what, we have such a bigger focus in mind. He said, we're looking at the big picture. He's like, I don't worry about the MVP stuff and the Triple Crown stuff because I figure if we make it to the playoffs, everything else will fall into place. He said, my whole platform for this entire season has been my experience that I had in the division series last year against the Philadelphia Phillies. He said, I've tasted the postseason and I've done everything I could this season to get back to that place. He also said something that made me laugh. He goes, you know what, the MVP award, that's really a team award. The reason being, I can't drive in 100 RBIs if there's nobody on base because I guarantee you I will not hit 100 home runs, guys.
That'd be a really good year, 100 home runs. Now, he's a team guy through and through. He's a great kid. Will Venables at center field. He just pinch hit last inning. Denorfia, that's kind of a straight up deal. Denorfia out of there. And Ryan Webb is the new pitcher for the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, and the only thing they're trying to buy right now is one more inning and let him do the sixth. Then they can hand the ball over to Gregerson, Adams, and then Bell if they still have the lead. 46th appearance for him. He is a part of that. He's the Belial for their team. He's the guy that comes in and gives you that 6th, 7th inning type action and does a very good job of it. He's retired. I like to see the number first batter faced around that 70% mark, and he's at 69%.
Here's one of the differences, though, that he does not have with Belial. Belial has held lefties to a 228 average. Lefties against Ryan Webb, and he's going to see a couple of them after Olivo, have hit him to the tune of 325. Seth Smith and the double switch is on deck, and then the switch hitter Eric Young representing the top of the order. There are the splits on Webb. He's ahead of Olivo, 0-2.
Well, home runs allowed. Their bullpen's 4th in the National League. They've allowed 35.
One out as Olivo strikes out. And that'll bring up Seth Smith. Who wants tacos? Fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies do score 7 in a ball game for the Rockies taco special, text the keyword taco to 95323. That from Taco Bell. Rockies were down 5-0. Miguel Tejada 2-run home run in the first. They rallied with 2 outs. The Padres did in the top of the 5th for 3, all charged to Esmil Rogers, but the Rockies got 4 in the bottom of the 5th. That's high, ball 1 on Seth Smith. Smith in the starting lineup yesterday was 0 for 4. The day before, 1 for 3 and a walk. Let's take a look at our Amica hit zone on Seth Smith. Amica, it's not how you're covered, it's how you're treated.
Surprised this number is as low as it is, that 067 down and in. You can see he really likes to extend and he likes the ball down.
That's always a big pitch for me, George. The swing pitch, that 1-1 pitch. When you were on the mound, I mean, that was a huge one, right?
Yeah, you know what? It is a huge pitch. I think the biggest telling factor, does this young man right here have the ability to throw a slider or change up behind in the count? You know, that's the guys that can handle the 2-1 counts. It's the guys that are forced into a fastball. They're the guys that typically get hurt.
You got a blue chip fastball hitter at the plate. Seth Smith with a 2-1 count. He went off speed and he missed. Now it's 3-1. George, it doesn't change at any level. You get a 3-1 count. You put the strikes on a little box. You look in a certain location.
Well, if you burn it right here, I mean, it tells you he likes the ball out over the plate and up a little bit. He got it down, and really a pitcher's pitch that he swung at.
Three and 2. That pitch obviously out of the strike zone. Smith regroups, takes a walk, and he gets back in.
This is his area of happiness, as it is with a lot of guys, but he likes it right there. He can extend those arms, and he's so quick because he crowds the plate. The outside corner becomes basically the middle of the plate. This time on a breaking ball, it wasn't.
Didn't get the slider. 2 strikeouts for Webb. So the Rockies again will try to go with 2 outs. Eric Young coming up.
When you come to the ballpark, if you'd like to upgrade your experience, go to the Mountain Ranch Club. It includes credit for food and beverage. That is correct. And man, if they remodeled, this thing is absolutely gorgeous out in right field. And with the way the weather is in September in Colorado, it's like going on a picnic at the ball yard. Hey, hi, how you doing? Wave over here. Here, come here, wait a minute.
Now we're going to wave to them over this way. There you go.
Yeah,
Eric Young takes a strike. See, that's a new feature this year in the Mountain Ranch Club. Not only wide open windows, but you have television monitors.
You got
you dine
everything
outside.
going on.
Yeah.
See, there you go. Here, I'll wave back to you guys. See, I'm waving back. Okay, good to see you. Good. Thanks for the food. See, you're back on again. The guy's going, why us? What did we do? We like you. That's why.
You're good Rockies fans. We love you. 0-2 on Eric Young. That's high.
Sinker ballers normally get the ball called a strike away. This is on the top of the zone, but he didn't get it.
2-2.
Vanover and Torrealba having a little conversation right now. Well, your catcher can be a great political person for you behind the plate with an umpire.
3-2 now on Eric Young.
Well, they did it with 2 outs before. Why not now, huh?
Soft liner, and it's bobbled by Tejada. He's not going to get it. Oh, he needs a little bobble. EY's just too fast. And now a different set of circumstances for Ryan Webb.
Yeah, it's going to get on the end of the bat, and when it gets hit over there, EY just turns it up a notch or two because Tejada thought he was coming in to get this thing in the air, and it bounced, and then Tejada tries to air it out. Don't have a shot here. EY's fired up. He got to utilize that speed a little bit. This is the guy he wants, obviously, because the 2 most dangerous bats in the lineup right now are directly behind him. But Black Ted Simmons, his bench coach, in discussion of where to go into the bullpen and where they are on double switches. Who's up next, studying the charts of what they have done against certain pitchers.
Eric Young is given a base hit on that. So he has an 8-game hitting streak now.
Really? Take it any way you can.
Yeah, just passing along the information. Fowler line drive. Oh, play by Tejada.
Snow cone, lick it. Did that break his glove, or was that the snow cone?
What a play by Tejada. It ends the inning, and it prevents Carlos Gonzalez coming up with 2 on. Can't hit it any harder. light freeze cam. Base hit to the wrong player. Carlos Gonzalez. And he cuts down Aaron Cunningham by 20 feet. Tried to barrel over Miguel Olivo. That didn't work out too well. Coors Light freeze cam. Cross-brewed Coors Light freeze cam. By the way, that's the 8th assist this year for Carlos Gonzalez. He's among the league leaders in that category also.
Matt Blau out to work his second inning after having a very good 1-2-3 inning on the bottom of the order. He'll face the top here in the 7th.
Jerry Hairston is 1 for 3, and he fouls that off quickly. It's a 2-strike count. At the end of the day, George, you don't care how a reliever gets it done. But if you're an infielder, you got to love working behind Bilal, because he gets the baseball, he's back on the rubber, and he pounds the strike zone.
Well, I think I think any one of those guys you talk about down in the bullpen, everybody likes to work behind them because they do throw strikes. They're aggressive. And if you're a young pitcher and you come to the big leagues, go ask Todd Helton what he dislikes. Go ask Melvin Mora. Ask Olivo. Man, I don't like a guy that works fast. I don't like a guy gets the ball and he just pounding the strike zone coming right at him. One after the other.
Easy play for Seth Smith. 1 out. 13 pitches, now 14 pitches, 10 strikes for Bilal to support what we're talking about. Our Quest high-speed pitch, Lupke 93, Jeff Francis 90. Again, Jeff, because of a pitch count, worked 3 innings. He was gone after a little more than 60 pitches. That's brought to you again by Quest, the high-speed internet provider of the Colorado Rockies. This is Cunningham. And he takes a strike.
There's Thatcher, the left-hander. He's warming up for guess who? I don't think that's tough to figure out. Gonzalez. But I wonder if Bud Black looked at the sheet. He's Gonzalez 2 for 3 against Thatcher. Now they do have 2 left-handers in their bullpen. Cesar Ramos is another one, but he's not a guy you're going to go to. Matt Reynolds, the lefty for the Rockies, also warming up because Gonzalez is a couple of batters away.
There's no such thing, George, with Matt Bilal as a waste pitch.
Well, you learn coming out of the bullpen, particularly when you're throwing an awful lot of innings. You learn to throw strikes, number 1, and you know you're going to get used a lot, number 2. This ball should get up in the seats. So, I mean, if you come out and just, get after it, you pound that zone, you put everybody on the defense, on the offensive side of things, and your defense loves you.
There's Tejada. He's on deck. He's been the hitting hero today for San Diego. This ball's well hit to left center field. But there's Kafka. He hit it in the wrong place. That's a long ride, a long fly to the baseball. But Gonzalez chased it down, George, where he caught it. It's about 420 feet from home plate.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's the kind of fly ball as a relief pitcher. Your heart starts to sink. You start to moonwalk a little bit and head back towards home, hoping you're bringing that thing back in again. Because it is tagged. And you know it, and you're here in the light air. You're just hoping he missed enough of it. Gonzalez just had to go back on the baseball, make sure he wasn't against that wall, and be able to make the catch. And he did just that.
Let me say it again, because I don't think I've said it in 24 hours. That is as fluid and as pretty a baseball player as I've ever seen. I mean, he's just amazing. He really is in his actions.
Pretty good. Fun to watch. I'm just glad that all these people that said, is he that good? Is he not that good? All of a sudden, he's kind of getting to show a lot of people through baseball for a complete year that all the tools are there. And he's shown it with the bat tonight, the glove, the arm.
Something else Bill Bork said about him. I mean, every player at this level is a great, great baseball player. They wouldn't even be close to here if they weren't. Tejada hits it in the air to right. Smith is going to run out of room. And he said, even for us, when you watch a guy that's just a cut above, he said, you're somewhat in awe that they make it look that easy, because we know that the game's not that easy.
Yeah, I really know that game's not that easy. It's played down there between those white lines. And I understand that fully. I mean, you see a guy like him go out there and do the things he does. Not a whole lot of effort behind it. I mean, he just comes pretty easy for him.
0-2, 1-2.
See, two ways you can go get Tejada right now, in my opinion. The two spots I would go with, and again, this is just based on a lot of history and watching guys. Slider, going here. That's one. They'll run a fastball up here out of the zone. Up. That ball was down. Anytime he can throw his head at it like that, the head of the bat, he's going to hurt you. And that's what he did right there. And he's hurt the Rockies tonight, obviously.
He's got 4 RBIs tonight for the second time in a ball game this year. The only other time came when he was still playing with Baltimore. It came on in a ball game at Camden Yards against Tampa.
See where that pitch is? Too much of the plate. You want it off a little bit. You want it elevated. If you're not going to throw the slider, and I mean, he's a very disciplined hitter. He knows what he's doing. Jim Tracy's not going to let the right face the left. Belisle's giving him an inning and 2/3. That young left-hander has done a great job, and Matt Reynolds will get a shot at Mr. Gonzalez.
So here comes big Matt Reynolds. We will take a breather for a moment. Come on back. The National League West title. Let FSN, the home of the Colorado Rockies, keep you up to date. Stay informed by getting messages about your Rockies sent straight to your phone by texting FSN RM to 95323. It's amazing how things change in baseball. You know, a week or so ago, the Rockies felt maybe their best opportunity was the wild card a couple weeks ago, and then things have changed dramatically, haven't they? Rockies winners of 10 straight. Reynolds to Gonzalez, strike one.
0 for 1 in their matchup last week in San Diego. I just love this young kid, the lefty coming in the ball game. He's just fearless. 20th round draft pick, a senior sign for $1,000, maybe $1,500.
You gotta have some of these. You know that, George. He's out of Austin P. You gotta have. You know, Billy Schmidt does a great job, his entire staff throughout the country, finding players like this later in rounds.
Well, these are guys, and like Smitty said to me, I never saw him pitch in college. Didn't even know who he was. This is all the area scout that's come into the draft room and says, hey, you get into that 15th, 20th round, and you want a veteran guy or you want an older guy that might make it, might not. Here's my guy. I want this guy. And every scout for the Rockies has somebody like this. And they're in there, so you get into the round, you go, hey, let's take the left-hander. He's 6'5", he's left-handed, you know, maybe got beat up a little bit at Austin P. Why didn't he get drafted as a junior? Whatever it is. It's the area guy that does the work to get these kind of draft picks that make it to the big leagues.
Yeah, sometimes it's one of those deals like, well, he had mono for half his junior year. That's why the numbers weren't real good.
Well, Billy Schmidt, I mean, he's going out and seeing the top 100, 200, 300 players in the country. he's not going to see Austin Peay play and seeing 20th round draft picks. I mean, his job is to really center and focus on those top 7-8 rounds in the draft. And so, you know, this is the area guy busting his tail.
1-2 on Gonzalez, and that kicks away. And that's going to allow Tejada to move into scoring position. So on that wild pitch, you have a 2-2 count with 2 outs on Adrian Gonzalez. Rockies in the bottom of the 7th inning will have Gonzalez, Tulowitzki, and Mora. This ball lined to deep right field, but over there in perfect position is Seth Smith. He was shaded in that direction toward the gap. 5-4 remains. Cargo, Tulowitzki, and Mora. Look back. This game has gotten more interesting as the evening has moved along. Rogers had 2 outs in the inning and then gave up a Miguel Tejada 2-out single to drive in a couple. And then Ryan Ludwig with a base hit. 5-0 the Rockies trail when they came up in the bottom of the 5th. There's Carlos Gonzalez. Chris Nelson had reached on a hit. He came around, and then the big blow, Troy Tulowitzki, a 3-run home run to dead center field to make it 5-4. The Rockies would continue to get a couple more hits. They got the 1st and 3rd, couldn't get the equalizer. Joe Thatcher's aboard to face Carlos Gonzalez here in the bottom of the 7th. Carr goes 2 for 3 and an RBI. And the drop-down slider misses.
He's also 2 for 3 against Joe Thatcher. 56 appearances, you see, not a lot of innings there. Just 32. This is what he's here for, to get that tough left-hander out. Okay, what I like about it too is they don't have a right-hander backing up right now to come on to face Tulowitzki in the bottom of the 7th.
Catches the zone. 2-1. Gonzalez with the 2 hits tonight. Started the night at 337. He's up to 339.
And that bullpen of theirs has been extremely busy. Adams worked on the 11th, as well as Bell. So did Gregerson, Mujica, Ramos. Everybody's been working and been busy out of their bullpen of late.
Well, remember, Latos only gave, as you said, George, he only gave 4 innings.
4 rough innings yesterday. Lincecum was pretty good for the Giants yesterday. He's starting to get hot. He's 14-9 now.
Both teams have hit double digits in hits. The Rockies 11, the Padres 10. Rockies trying to make it 11 in a row in terms of victories.
Big sweeper. Those are so hard on a lefty. You got a guy crossfiring. You got a guy bringing it from about 9 different directions. Man, look how far he's stepping down, and then that ball going to the outside. On the Hyundai cam now, I mean, you look at this. You can see the rotation of that baseball too. And look at this ball's coming like this at him.
Thatcher was on to get one man. He got Gonzalez.
This guy must have been warming up somewhere other than the bullpen, because we shot the bullpen 3 times to see if a right-hander was going. There wasn't anybody warming up. Maybe he was back hiding in the tunnel playing catch. Gregerson's coming in for the Padres.
Now they've reached the part of the bullpen that's been outstanding for the Gregerson and Adams. 5-4. Tulowitzki will be coming up to face Luke Gregerson. First, a look at our Breaks Plus poll of the ball game. Veteran in the clubhouse or the clutch? Where do you think it's more valuable?
I tell you what, that's a tough question, but I was going to agree with the clubhouse. It's close.
Well, you know, it's nice when you have a guy that handles both. I mean, he's been clutch, Jason Giambi, and his presence in the clubhouse is immense. Good question tonight. Troy Tulowitzki, a 3-run home run in the 5th.
Now Gregerson's coming in to make his 70th appearance. 70th appearance. Number 1 in the major leagues in holes with 34. Tulo chases a ball away from him on the outer half.
Gregerson throws his slider the majority of the time, about 60% of the time.
Tulowitzki 1 for 6 in his career against Gregerson. And Gregerson, with the workload, you wonder maybe if he's starting to struggle. The last 8 games, he's given up 7 runs in 7 1/3 innings pitched.
Troy Chase there. He's behind 0-2. Gonzalez calling for it. Adrian makes the catch. That'll bring up Melvin Mora. Melvin's got a couple of singles tonight. Repair that chip to your windshield by calling Safelite Auto Glass at 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com. He's driving today, George, with our buddy Bill Guyvette, assistant general manager of the Rockies, and rock came up on the highway, nicked the windshield, and said, hey, you got to call Safelite Auto Glass.
Absolutely.
I'll take care of it. Melvin Mora with 2 outs. Here's the 1-0 on Melvin. Belton on deck, hoping for an opportunity here in the 7th. A slider dropped on the inside corner. How about this now for the Rockies? They're 33-24. Look at Gregerson's numbers at Coors Field. 33-24, Frage, against the National League West. That is the best record of any team in the division, inside the division. Last year, the Rockies won 33 games the whole year inside the division. They went 33-39. Now, a lot of those losses came in April and May when the Rockies were not playing well. But, this year they're number 1.
Yeah. You got to figure out April next year, I tell you that. I don't know what the bugaboo is about that month.
Well, yeah, but as long as they have Septembers like they have this year, last year in 07. What's the old line? All's well that ends well?
Yeah, it'll catch up to you sooner or later, though.
You just can't bottom out in April. Swung on and missed. Gregerson is able to fan Melvin Morris. So we'll go to the 8th inning, still locked in at 5-4 San Diego. Institute in Denver, where you can make the world your workplace. The Rockies spotted the Padres 5 runs. They stormed back in the bottom of the 4th. Margot a base hit to drive in a run. Troy Tulowitzki, his 21st home run of the year, a 3-run shot. Miguel Tejada has a 4 RBI night for San Diego. And Reynolds continuing on. He falls behind Ryan Ludwig 2-0. Ludwig a couple of hits tonight, including an RBI in the 5th. Ludwig has the only other ribby for San Diego. And that's 3-0 on Ryan Ludwig. Padres had a 10-game losing streak. They rebounded briefly, sweeping the Dodgers, but then lost 3 of 4 at home to San Francisco, and that's not what Reynolds wanted to do.
Yeah, not at all. You have to start looking around down in that bullpen again to get guys moving and get them going for the Rockies. Del Carmen has started to warm up for the Rockies.
Chase Headley at the plate. The Padres with 5 runs tonight. It's the most they have scored in a ball game since losing 11-5 to Arizona on August 26th. This is a pop-up to Seth Smith near the line. And Smith makes a catch, 1 out. Headley's retired. That'll bring up Will Venable, a left-handed bat.
Hey, Coors Field Suites party facilities and picnic areas fit any event and any budget. Pick up the phone. Not many more nights here at the old ballpark. 303-312-2444.
Venable came into the ball game in the 6th inning, a pinch hitter, and he stayed in center field. He grounded out to second his first time up. He takes a strike. This is a difficult stretch for the Padres. Not only were they miserable on their last homestand, but tonight is game 1 of a 10-game road trip that will take them also to St. Louis for 4. And you know you're going to get your St. Louis's best shot because they're in the middle of a chase in the Central and the wild card. And then you continue on to Los Angeles. Swung on and missed. Nice way out in front. And then when they come home, George, they have to play the Cincinnati Reds.
Yep, things aren't going to be easy.
One, 2. And back to Reynolds. He waits for Tulowitzki. And Tulowitzki tried to grab that throw and rush it to first. Venable runs well, especially for a big man. He's 6'5".
You made the right choice here. You just got to gather yourself up. Now watch when he catches this baseball. So he's going to wait. Tulowitzki's there, and then Tulo's going to run to the baseball. Now a lot of times what you're taught as a pitcher, as soon as you catch it, fire it over the top of the bag. He's going to get there. You got to trust the fact Tulowitzki's going to get there. That hesitation a little bit to make sure he got that lead out may have cost him the double play.
Torrealba's 0 for 3. Two ground balls to short and a ground ball to Melvin Moore at third.
Yeah, there he is. Adams, the other guy that's number 2 in the league in holes with 31. Gregerson 34. Then you got to deal with Heath Bell in the 9th inning.
Their bullpen, George, the last 7 games, covering 25 innings coming into tonight. They'd allowed 2 earned runs. That's an 0.72 ERA. 30 punch outs in those 25 innings.
They can do that. By the way, while Reynolds is still on the mound, I'll throw a little love out to Scott Corman. He's the area scout that was the guy that signed him out of Austin Peay for Billy Schmidt.
Good job, Scott. Here's the 1-1 to Torrealba. 1-2. think in the Rockies system, George, and you've noticed it more and more at the big league level the last 2-3 years, they've done a great job of varying times to the plate, teaching the hold.
Well, you have to. You know,
they picked the ball.
They tried to be a little sneaky there. Now you got a pitcher involved in it. Whoa! Yeah, that baby. How about that play by Reynolds?
Yeah. And the Rockies finally get the out. Matt Reynolds at 6'5". Oh, there's a baseball.
Oh, wow.
And that's how the Rockies close out the top of the 8th inning. A caught stealing on Will Venable. Somebody catch it. Again, 3, 6. That was touched by Olivo. 2-1, 4, and the out. You know, the official score had it as a 1-3-6-1-4. It's actually 1-3-6-2-1-4. But you got to say it quick, George, because Miguel.
Say it all again real fast.
Miguel only had it briefly.
Fast.
Ready?
Say it again.
1-3-6. 2-1-4. Your basic caught stealing. Well, if you dial all those numbers, you're going to reach somewhere. I don't know quite where, but you're going to reach somebody in some place.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Eckstein, the defensive replacement, coming in at second base right now, and then they turn it over to Mike Adams, a guy that obviously throws the ball well. Eckstein will hit 9th in the lineup, and Adams will be put in the leadoff spot.
Let me ask you a question very quickly. What happened yesterday? What streak did Jason Giambi break against Arizona? Personal streak. When he hit that home run. He was 0 for 16 this year against Arizona, 16, right?
Yeah, and what do we got working here?
Well, Adams has never given up a run against the Rockies. 15 in the third, scoreless innings.
Oh, that's not good.
15 outings against the Rockies. No, you know what? It's time to change that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not good for him.
0-1 on Helton. Adams throws hard. He's got for me, George, a funky delivery.
He does have one. I mean, it's a very difficult delivery to follow. That's why their club is as good as it is.
And he throws a hard cutter to lefties.
Yeah, well, he's going hard sinker way right now, it appears. That's where Torrealba's going out there, and it sure is. I mean, see, here's what he does, and this is something. You know, here's something that you look at, because he'll throw that cutter and have it come here, and he'll throw the cutter and have it bite in on you here. That last pitch was that cutter on the outside corner. 1 run allowed, and hey, there's that hard fastball again, and it was hard at 95. Last 19 appearances, 1 run, covering 16 in the third innings total for Adams.
Johnny Herrera's come out in the on-deck circle. That's now the pitcher's spot. There's Jonathan. The big man. It's getting towards his time of night, isn't it?
Been upstairs hitting.
Two and two.
You see everything away. Nothing. He's got one ball kind of center cut, but it's been more of a, that was that cutter on strike one.
Todd wastes that one. Rockies with 6 outs to work with against the top bullpen statistically in baseball this year. The Padres bullpen, a big reason why they're still hanging on to first with the Giants in the NL West at 80 and 62. Look at what he's done over the last month and a half. We were talking about what a great job the Rockies have done picking up a guy like Matt Reynolds in the 20th round. You know, this kid, Mike Adams, originally undrafted by the Milwaukee Brewers. He's just an undrafted signee. The Mets acquired him in '06 in a trade. They waived him. The Indians picked him up. And the Padres acquired him for a right-handed pitcher by the name of Brian Sikorsky.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, this is the deal. Somebody else is always sitting in the stands watching. Whether it's a high school game, a minor league game, AAA game, whether it's in a big league ball game, there's scouts sitting in the stand.
Hand drives this ball to center field. And Venable will have to field it on a hop. What an at-bat for Todd Helton as he slaps the gloves together.
I thought maybe, Venable was going to make a chance and dive on that baseball. I really did. And then at the last second, he held up. Barmes will run for Todd Helton. Johnny Herrera will pitch hit. This is where the monopoly really starts. I should say the chess game between Tracy and Black, and who's off of the bench, who's left off of the bench, positioning of your defense, all of those things are going to play in here.
Well, you know what, George, you said it earlier. Ramos is not a guy they're going to use late. They've already burned Thatcher to get Gonzalez last inning. And Adams is their setup guy, so you know you're facing him here in the 8th inning. It's not going to change. That's a great thought if it stays fair. And unfortunately, it trickled foul. So now when you talk about Giambi late in the ball game, where
he's going to face foul anyway.
It probably will be the 9th inning.
Yeah, I mean, you're Giambi, unless you get into this spot down here below, and again, it's Olivo, Smith, and Young. I mean, if you get that many guys on base, you're going to go ahead and play it out. But he's more than likely going to be the guy that swings the bat in the 9th inning against Bell to try to win it.
Barmes at first, running for help. It's hard to tell. He got a piece of that, didn't he? He's trying to pull the bat back. That's a strike. 0-2. Obviously did, since Barmes stayed at first base. And now Herrera studying Richie Dower. Will he be bunting with 2 strikes? He may very well be.
I think you almost have to.
Swinging. Hard ground ball to third. High throw to Eckstein, who doesn't throw well. And Johnny Herrera beats it. Barmas got into him a little bit, and that's, you know, the plus and the minus of David Eckstein. What a gamer, what great hands he has, but the one thing he doesn't possess, George, is much of an arm.
Well, much of an arm, man. You're right. This ball's hit hard, though, and if he gets a good throw from Headley, not one that's up into the air, they probably turn this double play, where he's able to balance and really put something on the throw.
And Olivo's been called back. They're going to play the Giambi card right here. Worked out pretty well yesterday, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely it did, and give him that shot to go at this guy and do it now. Yesterday on a changeup down and away, dead center field. And he left the yard. There's not much history here, just one at bat between the two of them. You love to see the veteran pumping that fist, man, to give your ball club a win.
We'll see Paul Phillips behind the plate in the 9th inning. Remember, Chris Iannetta has a strained calf, not available. Giambi hitting for Olivo. And I thought that you may see this in this situation, because in the 9th inning you have the top of your order. You're not going to pinch hit, obviously, for most of those guys, and plus you need a first baseman now next inning. And of course, you can put there's ways of configuring your infield without putting Giambi in defensively, but now
well, you can put Barmas
available
to third, Moore to first.
Right.
All the big man's thinking about is he's in launch mode right now.
Well, you know, I think he's thinking the same thing he was yesterday. He said, you know, I'm trying to hit a gap if I can, hit the ball hard first of all and find a gap. And Herrera was at first yesterday, and figuring that if Johnny gets a good jump, he'll have a chance to score. Get a pitch you can handle.
Yeah, that's the key to it. And I think the fact you're down one, so it's going to take two to get up on top of it. I mean, that's a lot of times hitters of his ability, you know, with the number of home runs that he's hit, they go up. They can do that. They can look to hit one out of the yard.
Yesterday, George, he hit career home run number 415, passing Darrell Evans for 43rd on the all-time list. One strike count.
Just off the plate, just off the corner. Giambi wisely let that go by.
39-year-old Jason Giambi. Covina, California, makes his home now in Las Vegas. In the twilight of what's been a grand career. He got a pitch there he liked.
You can see, watch the expression of a hitter when he misses one and he's like, oh, how did I miss that?
Adams ahead 1-2. Herrera at first. Torrealba wanted to get Giambi, beat him upstairs above the hands.
Well, as guys get older and they get farther along in their career, sometimes when you cheat on the fastball, this is the one fastball you have a difficult time handling, and that's up in the strike zone.
Numbers against San Diego this year. 1-2. Giambi, 6'3", 240 pounds. "15 years in the big leagues." "5-4 San Diego." 8th inning, man on with 1 out. Pulled down the line, glove by Gonzalez, double play. He hit a rocket, but Adrian Gonzalez was right there. It almost took his right arm off. By Geico, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. By the Courtyard by Marriott on the 16th Street Mall. Call 303-571-1114 and ask about our hometown sports package. And by the Great Colorado Payback, reuniting you with your money. Good crowd at Coors Field. 5-4 Padres as we've arrived at the 9th inning on superhero night at the ballpark. Here's a little superhero. Let's check in with Mark Stout. Mark, you got anything cooking for superhero night?
Of course we do. There's been some superheroes on the diamond, like Mighty Miguel of the Visitors with 4 RBIs. Asteroid Boy, the reigning NL Player of the Week, goes yard again for the 9th time this month. Who will be the superhero for the Rockies this inning? We'll find out. To the Batcave, guys.
All right, Mark, thank you. The Rockies have made a couple changes defensively. Jonathan Herrera stays in the ball game at third base. Melvin Mora slides over to first. Todd Helton, after his base hit, was replaced on the base paths by Clint Barmas. And Paul Phillips is behind the plate because a moment ago, Miguel Olivo was pinch hit for by Jason Giambi, who hit that rocket that turned into a double play.
And if you're wondering about Paul Phillips, you just saw him. We'll go on to Franklin Morales making his 29th appearance. Coming on for the ball club. It has been better the last 3 or 4 outings for Morales. He's found a strike zone with his fastball. He's been aggressive with his slider, and the results have been very good. Speaking of Paul Phillips sitting behind home plate, in his starts with the Rockies this year, he is 4-0. Can we consider maybe this is a start to make it 5-0? Probably not. Huh?
Well,
you really want to expand your imagination.
Not exactly. But, you know, this is a comfortable situation for Phillips in that he's catching a guy, George, that he caught down at AAA.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what the key to this coming in September. And again, we said this early, pop-up.
This is deep left field up the bat of Torrealba. There's Cargo out there. I got it.
2 balls to hit in this ball game tonight. They've gotten very close to leaving the yard. Carlos Gonzalez has floated over and made the catch on the baseball. 2 high drives gives him time to utilize judgment, speed, and athleticism and make a catch. And they can watch their eyes. That's a thing of beauty, man. When they watch, and you watch whether it's a pop fly to second or wherever it is, the focus and staying on the fly to the baseball. So a lot of players in the outfield will glance away or glance off, and that's when it hits the thumb and falls out of their glove.
Here's David Eckstein, his first at bat, came to the ball game last inning at second base. This is popped up. Tulowitzki going out. Cargo coming on. 2 outs. Oscar Salazar is going to be the pinch hitter. Two outs, nobody on. Salazar at the plate against Franklin Morales. The Rockies against Heath Bell will have Seth Smith, Eric Young, Dexter Fowler.
Yeah, we need to want to see that other guy you're getting ready to mention.
And then Carlos Gonzalez and Troy Tulowitzki. Good pitch. Humming it over at 96. And you're right. Franklin Morales, last couple outings, George, has been much better.
Confidence, because he's gotten ahead of the hitter, then he's able to come right back with his best stuff. It's when he struggles otherwise to be able to stay on top of things.
This ball's well hit center field, though, by Salazar, and it's gone. A pinch hit home run for Oscar Salazar, and it's 6-4. For Salazar, just his third home run all year in 120 at bats. It's his second pinch home run of the season.
Now that changes the complexion real quick. You give Bell a little bit of breathing room. Center cut fastball, and he stayed right on this thing. I mean, is he, from the looks of his numbers, as a pinch hitter? You know, you're looking at 9 for 41, 2 home runs and 11 RBIs. He's their Jason Giambi from the right side. But he doesn't have 400-plus home runs in his career.
No, a little different resume. Two-strike count on Cunningham. One and two. And that breaking ball misses. 2-2. Starting pitchers in this game, Jeff Francis. Jeff's got the hook. Corey Lukey for San Diego. Now Morales has fallen behind, 3-2. Rockies got 4 runs off of Lukey in 4 2/3. So Lukey can't win this ball game. To the official score, Ryan Webb had a clean inning if San Diego were to win. 6. Strike 3. And we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. The Rockies now trail 6-4. Work to do against one of the game's top closers, Heath Bell. today. I guess, George, either the
Must
Padres
be healthy
are,
now, huh?
the Padres are breaking rules, or he was activated. And they
Can
didn't
you do
let
it like in the well? Laurel Freeb's here, the commissioner's son-in-law, is here doing his annual visit to Colorado. I think they went to him and made an exception in the 5th.
I don't know about an exception.
I don't think so either.
They obviously didn't send out the press release. But Gwynn's in center field, Venables in right. Ludwig is out of there. 6-4 ball game. The Rockies down 2. They have a 10-game winning streak on the line. Heath Bell with 40 saves. Saved the lone Padre win against the Giants over the weekend on Saturday. Second to the Giants, Brian Wilson in the save department.
Well, he's been pretty special, no question about that. The last blown save, May 26th for him. Think about that, May 26th. He's been pretty special there since the All-Star break. 1-0 with a 129 earned run average and 16 for 16 in save opportunities. And you wonder what he's done at Coors Field? Well, I'll tell you. He's 2-1 with 5 saves in 20 innings, covering 14 ball games. He's got a 216 earned run average here. Out on the road this year, 0.99.
And he has strike one over. He'll throw that fastball 93 to 95 miles an hour.
Wasn't this another guy that wasn't drafted? Didn't he sign as a free agent by the Mets? I think that's right. I actually think they signed him as a free agent, and he went undrafted.
No.
What?
Well, you know what? He was originally signed in the 69th round by Tampa. Or he's drafted in the 69th round by Tampa in 97. Did not sign, but the Mets, it's a little hazy there because the Mets got him as a minor league free agent. Well, he had to sign with somebody in between.
Somewhere, didn't he?
Well, George, you know what? For me, if you drafted in the 69th round, even if you didn't sign, it's a great story.
Exactly. Kind of like Mike Piazza was a pretty good story.
62nd round by the Dodgers. It turned out well for him. 2 balls and a strike on Smith. Eric Young on deck. Second at bat for Smith, struck out swinging in the 6th inning. We're back in the 1st, and the leadoff double in the 3rd by the pinch hitter Jay Payton. The Rockies had opportunities to score and did not. And now they trail by a couple of runs. Three and 2. Outfield is very, very deep. That's what you do on defense when you're protecting a 1 or 2 run lead. Play no doubles. Venable very deep. Center fielder Gwynn deep, which in this ballpark allows for even more room naturally between the infielders and the outfielders for soft singles. Ball 4, and the tying run will come up. Eric Young as Smith goes to first.
Well, now you got to let things swing away, or maybe hit and run or do things. But with that home run, you just kill it. Otherwise, you'd be bunting in this situation with Eric Young.
It's been a wild game. You look down on that Rockies bench. There aren't many guys left. The only guy is McHenry. Low strike called on Eric Young.
A lot of switches made, and they were made because of trying to win this ball game and do what they needed to do to win this ball game. And took the shots when the shots presented themselves.
There's a scorecard. Iannetta has got a red mark next to him. He's not available. He's got a calf injury. 1-1 on EY. Got an infield hit in the 6th inning. He has an 8-game hitting streak. Slowly hit to Gonzalez, and he's going to get the lead runner. With 1 out, that'll bring up Fowler. Barring the unusual, and the unusual would be Dexter Fowler, George, hitting into a double play. You're going to get Gonzalez up as a tying run.
Yep, you like that feeling, that's for sure. That's what you're looking for.
Dexter 1 for 3 and a walk. He was robbed of a hit his last time up. 6th inning, Eric Young had reached. And Dexter Fowler hit a laser just to the right of Miguel Tejada. He doesn't have the greatest range anymore. Miguel laid out, dove, and snow-coned it to end the inning. 0-1. Fowler's seen Heath Bell 6 times. Got 1 hit against him. Gonzalez on deck, 1 for 2 against Bell. Larry Vanover staying right with the pitch, said it was away. 2-1. One thing all year about the Rockies, and they never went on much of a winning streak before this 10-gamer. They won 6 in a row. That was their best. But night in and night out, it's never a blowout. It's close game after close game.
The thing about this, the Rockies have the most one-run game wins in baseball this year with 27. San Diego is second with 25.
There's been a lot of one-run losses also. But the point is, this is a team every night that stays in. Here's the 2-1. Two and 2 on Dexter. Eric Young at first. 1 out in the 9th. 6-4 San Diego. And he strikes out Fowler. 2 gone. And here comes Carlos Gonzalez.
Hard slider with a big break and a lot of velocity and very late biting. Not anywhere where Torrealba wanted it, but he got the results he wanted.
Two for 4 tonight, 2 singles, including his 101st RBI.
Defensively right now, the Padres could care less about Eric Young Jr. They're going to play deep, and they're going to play in a pull position on the right side. Because of Carlos Gonzalez, they want to have that ability. He shot 2 balls through the right side in this game tonight.
Young will take second. And obviously, with first base open, there's no way but Black's going to put on the tying run and allow the winning run to come to the plate with Tulowitzki.
Now, he's already told you that, and by letting him go, it's just go ahead. I'm going to face this guy and make him beat me.
Tulowitzki hoping for a chance. 3-run home run earlier in the ball game. On the ground is short. And the hottest throw is going to win it for San Diego. And the Rockies' 10-game winning streak is over. They lose tonight in the first of 3 against San Diego. 6-4, the final score. So the Rockies will have to regroup, get ready for tomorrow night. They'll have Jason Hamill on the hill against the veteran right-hander John Garland. The Rockies fell behind 5-0. They got it 5-4. They put a lot of pressure on San Diego, but the bullpen for the Padres did their thing. Tonight's delivery of the game brought to you by Jimmy John's. Miguel Tejada had a big night. 36-year-old hit a 2-run home run up on the concourse early against Jeff Francis, and then a 2-run, 2-out single later on against Esmil Rogers. His second 4 RBI ball game of the year. For Heath Bell, his 41st save. So the Rockies lose tonight. They drop to 79 and 65. 6-4 the final. Postgame is next.